Let's do it.
Easy
We
peasy,
are
lemon
live.
squeezy.
We are live.
Broadcast is live.
Yo, what's
live
up?
from somewhere in the world.
Remember, guys,
No cussing.
no cussing. Do your best to not cuss.
Yeah, I think
Use-
look in the mirror on that one, bro. You especially.
Use word like frozen.
Man, this podcast is so frozen right now. There's no one here.
We're just getting started, man.
We're just getting started.
We're just getting started.
You don't
No,
even
we're-
know,
Give
man.
it, give it a few moments.
We're waiting for the internet world to get prepared for us. That's why we're
Yeah,
just
They
talking
ain't
about
ready.
it.
They ain't ready for us,
They ain't
man.
ready,
They ain't
they
ready
ain't
for
ready.
I'm in the studio or YouTube studio site right now on the channel. Complete flatline is great.
Hey, man, that's a conspiracy. The world is out to get us.
They're trying to keep us down. They don't want us talking about what we're talking about.
Yeah, man.
Which is what? What are we talking about, King Bean?
Oh, we're going to talk about bananas today. It's going to be
Bananas?
bananas.
Like the kind you,
it's gotta be
what
bananas.
kind of bananas you talking about?
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking
kind
about
you
the-
eat.
I'm talking about the jet stream type, man. I'm talking about, like...
Just
No.
That's straight. I don't even know that.
You don't want to. You're talking about the wrong type of banana, man.
Yeah, I like how he
Nah.
just like kills the topic.
No, the
Right.
topic today is... What's our title? I don't even know what our title is.
I
The
don't know.
title is
Yes.
Real Talk is Dulce Real.
Yeah,
Dulce
it's Dulce Real. You guys even know what Dulce is?
Well,
or where Dulce
before we
is?
get to
Educate,
that,
educate.
before we get to that, let's see
Dulce.
that this stream goes for a little bit here.
Yeah.
It's getting
It was playing for me, so I know it's going for sure.
all right.
It's just that
Tick-tock,
we have
tick.
nobody gives a crud
Hooter.
about Asia Core. Feels bad, man.
Huda, huda.
Oh,
2 viewers, man.
heard.
We're 2 viewers strong.
Hey,
Feels bad, man.
those two are probably at least.
Yo, what up, Misty?
Oh,
hey,
hold
Misty,
on.
Yeah,
what's
there's
going on?
Hey, Misty.
Misty Starry Night. It's like...
It's just Star Night,
It's
bro.
Star Night, not
Where do
Starry,
you, where do you get
bro.
the Y, Starry?
Misty, please
on,
change your
man.
name to Misty Starry Night for
Please.
King
Starry Night just
For
because
King Min's
stupid.
approval.
Me. Just for King Me.
No, it's just her eyes is gleaming with starry.
Oh,
Isn't
way to
like
bring
tonight we
back.
keep it calm and
Way
chill.
to
We
bring
keep
it
it calm and
back.
chill.
Hi,
Hey,
Chloe.
Hey, Chloe, what's up?
Hey,
No,
Chloe,
man.
what's
Tonight,
up?
Halloween ends tonight.
What's
No.
crazy, Chloe, is I actually had a
Chloe.
dream about you the other day. It was kind of
Whoa,
weird.
whoa, whoa.
That's
we
weird,
just
that's
said
weird.
we
No,
were
no, no,
keeping it chill.
No, it's not like that.
Describe the.
Okay, so here's how the dream go. It was in the 90s, and I went to a video shop to rent a video, and to my right, I heard a voice of a person say, "Yo, mean," and then I turned around, it was Chloe, and I gave her like the fist bump, and then like we were talking about movies, and like we were in the horror section, so we were, oh hey Celeste,
Hey, Celeste.
Hey,
yeah,
Celeste.
so we were in the horror section, and like we were just talking about like cool classic and stuff. It was dope. It was an ill dream.
I like
It was
how
ill.
I like how
It
when
was
Min
ill.
said
Who the
I like
heck
how when
says ill?
I said ill, man. That shit.
I like how
That's
when Min
ill,
said
man.
when Min said he had a dream about Chloe, we automatically assume it's a bad.
You guys suck. You
No,
guys.
I just said it's weird.
We
to
were
bring up.
whoa,
you know?
whoa. Hold on a
for
second.
Chloe when Mean said
All that.
Hold
Well,
on
no,
a
it-
second.
Hold your horses, fam.
But it was cool though. It was cool. It was cool.
All right, let's go. We got the party here. We got
we got
all the
Celeste.
Asia Core ladies
We
here.
got all the classics.
That's it.
the original, the OG.
the
The OG. Yeah, just like King Mean. We talking about Dulce bass tonight.
How are you guys? I don't know. How are we? I don't know. I'm
I don't
doing
know.
good as always, I guess.
I'm
as
still
usual.
I'm
We're here.
perpendicular.
No, you're
Whatever
not.
that means.
You're up and down. You are not. Oh,
He's vertical. I'm horizontal.
I'm like,
Fizzing
how
is straight up.
stupid
Fizzing
we
is straight
sound.
is flat. Fizzing is just flat.
hey man, I'm a scientist. I'm not stupid.
I'm like okay, first of all, Dulce Lab. Where do you guys
Yeah,
even
I'm
know where?
offended.
First of all, is it
I'm
pronounced
offended.
Dulce? Is it pronounced Dulce?
It's Dulce, man.
Dulce.
Every people
Dulce
on
Lab, New Mexico, right?
Can I?
Yeah.
I'm gonna pronounce it as Dulce.
That's fine. I've
I'm
heard
gonna
some
call
people
it
pronounce it
Dulce.
that way.
Can
Oh,
I
really?
say Dulce?
Yeah, that's fine. I heard some
Dulce?
people say it that way
Dulce?
too.
Where do
Yeah.
you get the chi from?
CE. So
CE.
Just- There's no C.
There is a
There is
city.
there's a
C.
C right there. Right after the L, bro.
What?
like, what?
This
Hold
clown.
on. Oh, the freaking someone typed it wrong in the chat room. That's why I was looking at the chat room.
Okay, so this base.
Some fool typed
this,
it wrong in the chat room. I got misinformation.
It's okay.
I guess
okay.
misled.
There's all
Might have
So this
recorded the
base-
video.
Misinformation.
This base. What do you guys know about this base?
Jack squat.
So Monkey doesn't know much about it. He doesn't know anything about it, actually. Aizen, a little bit maybe familiar with it. I don't know.
Okay.
Probably not.
So
I
supposedly
already
there's
forgot.
wait, what's going on? It's a secret base
So
where
Fizzin
secret
says,
experiment.
what's going on?
That's what he's saying. This is a secret base where a secret
Where
experiment is
secret
conducted.
conducted.
Yeah.
Wait.
But
Let's back up. I was thinking y'all were talking about candy
What?
because that's how you spell candy in Spanish.
We could talk about candy.
Love it.
Well, those.
I got some candy.
Well, the topic doesn't make sense, is it? Is candy real? Because that's our
Is
topic.
candy real?
Kimmy, stop saying supposedly. It's
Supposedly.
supposedly.
No.
Supposedly.
Don't worry, this guy
Supposedly.
puts B's where P's are supposed to be and all that.
No, it's Mandela. It's Mandela. That's what it
It's not
is.
Mandela. It happened
Anyways,
5
it's
minutes
a
ago.
secret military base with secret
Yes.
science experiment and military experiment
just-
and all
just
that.
think of
I
it this
mean,
way, it's like-
allegedly.
It's like Area 51, but like on a more grand scheme. It's like basically it's in the mountain region, and underneath it, the base goes like super far down, like down low to Earth. I don't know how many bases there are,
Down low
but
to Earth.
Download to Inner Earth.
yeah, I don't know how many bases there are, but supposedly this is where the joint.
Again.
What? Supposedly,
No, there's no B.
I don't care. It's my
But
word. It's
indeed,
like
but it's
it's-
not your word.
it is my word if I put a B to it. So yeah, supposedly, it's a.
How can someone take you so seriously, man? With that word.
This podcast is starting great.
Oh,
So-
I'm
Clown.
strong.
Hold on, man.
This podcast is Dulce.
So hear me out. Hear me out. It's a
So
joint.
sweet, like
It's a
candy.
joint. It's a joint thing between alien and human. So basically, here's how it goes. Like the history of.
Just
So you guys know.
supposedly.
So you guys know the history. It all started back in the black and white era, during like when the movie or black and white, like during that era, like
So,
Like
like
alien
the-
came down.
Like the
No,
20s, the
no.
30s.
It's like this. There's two type of alien, right? There's a good alien, there's a bad alien. So the good alien came down first and say, hey, here's humanity, here's technology that you can cure your stuff and blah blah blah. The government's like, oh yeah, what's the benefit for us? Like, are we gonna make any profit for them? They're like, no, this is for the whole world, so everybody could be healthy and everybody could,
And-
no
and then the-
poverty,
and then
no
the US
nothing.
government.
Say, rejected, right?
Yeah.
So then the other type of alien, I'm just gonna call him the Gray, came and did a treaty, and they're like, yo, government, if you let us like test your people, like you can get cool technology from us. And the government's like, hell yeah. So then they sign that up, and then they get the bad technology to do bad things, right? So that's where the conglomerate joint staff of human and alien, and that's where the Dulce base are happening. Yeah. So when you go down there, you see aliens, you see people. They work together, like side by side.
Okay, so simplify.
Yeah.
A long time ago, good aliens came down, gave some stuff to the humans. American government, U.S. government said, screw that because
Not just U.S. It's the world government.
yeah, because
they're all
it's,
weird.
it's not profitable, right? So the technology to save lives is not profitable.
Yeah, we don't
So
want that.
We don't want that. So they make deals with the bad aliens, right? The gray, supposedly.
I need a shirt. Supposedly, right now.
So the
It's
gray
gonna be our
gave them
next merch
tech.
right there.
The Gray gave them tech in exchange for a human experiment to experiment with, and that's
Right,
where all
right.
and at least according to what some people are saying, that's where all the missing kids and missing people.
What Fizz
Go
say,
to.
man? That's messed up.
What
Can you read
Human
it?
explanation.
She's like 5-year-old.
5-year-old? They go to the store. They sell stores. anyways, in the base, there's a different level of the deeper you go, the more extreme it is. Right?
Oh,
And
yeah,
there's
they have a thing called Nightmare Hall.
yeah,
So-
which is the most scariest place in the
Right.
base.
So this is where they conduct human experiment, where they, a lot of, and this is, I'm getting serious just for a little bit. This, like when you go to store and stuff,
Supposedly.
you see walls of missing people, missing kids and stuff. Like a lot of people don't take into account, like if you look at the statistic, there's a lot of kids are missing each year. It's
80% of
insane,
them, 80% of them is never found.
yeah,
That's
it's
pretty
insane.
much
And
the
so
statistic.
supposedly the base, they conduct those like sometimes like those missing people, they experiment on them. They put them in like tubes and they experiment all sorts of stuff on them. People that's been there or claim to be there and witness all that messed up stuff. It's a nightmare. That's why they call it the Nightmare Hall. Like they can't get that out of their mind because like people are getting experiment on, and
Worse.
the government is okay with it. That's the real jacked up part. And,
Anyway,
like,
the story I heard was a long time ago, so I kind of forget part of the details and what's going on. But there's supposed to be like human alien hybrid experiment going on there. There's other type of weird stuff going on there, and and later on there's a war that breaks out between like the good people and soldiers that's trying
Well,
to.
here's how it happened. Dude drill holes because that's his job. He drill hole. There's a lot of underground bases that's interconnected together and whoop together, right? Woven.
Woven.
Yeah.
Woven.
Yeah.
Or
Woof,
moving.
woof
It's
it.
just street
Woven.
slang. Yeah, street slang. So
Street slang.
yeah, so one of the construction worker like drilled down there, not knowing that the base is there. So he found it by accident, and then that's where the shoot off happened because he wasn't aware that they're human and alien working together down there. So he actually shot the gray, and the gray fired back, and he lost a few fingers, and a bunch of his people die, and like he survived, and that's where the story came out from. So basically, yeah, what Fizzin says. Story
Okay.
goes, there was a guy who worked there. He got out and leaked out the info. Here's the crazy part. The stuff that he brought out is supposedly still hidden. Woven.
To this very day.
No one has
Okay,
found
no one
it
has
yet.
found
yeah.
it yet. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a crazy story, but so what do you think, Monkey? Like,
Secret base. The
do
secret
you
base
think
is
there's
everywhere.
a secret base out there where humans working with aliens and doing weird experiment underground somewhere
all
out
for
there?
all for the benefit of the technology that they gain over us to keep us control.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all. But
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not like. Nothing that our government does would surprise me at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just wouldn't. And even the stuff that seems like so far
Let's-
out there that never was even possible has
Mhm.
been proven as, like the government comes
let's
out
just
and
say-
says,
let's
oh,
just
yeah, now
say-
it's real.
Yeah, let's just say the base don't have alien, and that is just some made up story.
It's just your
But-
basic military base,
but-
actually.
But I'm pretty sure there's a base that's doing crazy experiment on humans somewhere
sure,
out there.
for sure.
Somewhere out there.
All right, let's read what
Whether
Fizzle
it's
posts real
alien-
quick.
Call it
Let's
as
go.
black
Whether it's
sites.
alien or not, it's still it's still happening.
So 936. Okay, Misty said, "I feel there is some truth to all the stories written." Good girl. And then
Some
next,
truths, yes. Like the
like
alien story.
Alien stories. Yep. And let's explain that Nightmare Hall. There's cages with vaults that
Vault
hold
that holds
humanoid
humanoid
bats,
bats.
Mothman, Gargoyle, El Chupacabra. There you go. Yo,
sorts of wild
Celeste,
stuff.
you ever heard of El Chupacabra? Like the goat sucker? Because when I was a kid, I live in California, and like we hear this story all the time. And like I explained, there was some scenario with our bunnies cage getting ripped open, go in there, all their blood was sipping out, and like they're all torn. There's no traces of blood. So yeah, El Chupacabra. Experiment weird monster like the Mothman, like Chupacabra, with New Jersey Devil. All those could be attributed from labs experiment that they escape.
Crazy hybrid experiment in a lab somewhere, and they probably escape, right? It could happen.
Yeah, man, crypto. That's what he said. That's what Fizzin said.
Crypto, man, crypto.
The thing that's crazy is
like Superman's dog, or
you know the guy who got his finger shot off by laser, whatever. He was found dead in an apartment. Like, why? Like right after he come out with the story, not too long after that.
That's the thing.
He's supposedly, you know.
Don't quote yourself. Don't air quote yourself. Just say it.
I don't know why he air quotes himself.
If I'm saying it, then I'll air quote. But since you're saying it, you don't have to.
You don't have to air quote yourself.
The man air quote himself.
That's a meme.
Was Bigfoot a monster that escaped from there, or he's just naturally occurring out there?
I think Bigfoot is an interdimensional being. How else could...
I think it just predates all of that, yeah.
Yeah, he goes in and out of the reality like insanity. Like, there's no traces of him.
If you think about like all those aliens that's currently involved, you're also
Bigfoot probably can open portals like Doctor Strange and like walk in and out.
Yeah. So go 9999938. Yeah.
That's a lot of nines.
That is possible, Misty. It's not those ancient native stories. Wait, what? No,
He's
go
saying
higher.
That it's possible.
Go higher. Go higher.
What?
938. Okay, after that, boom. Well, the guy died at Wilsonville, man. Yep. True story. Yeah. That's close to us. Like far but close. Far but close.
No, it's not.
That is possible. Okay, read that already. Next
side.
one. What's ancient native talks about Bigfoot before America? Yeah, it's true.
That's true.
Bigfoot predates humanity.
It predates, yeah.
There are stories of Bigfoot before Bigfoot is even a thing. So there's cave stories of it and stuff as well.
And don't give me that Darwin thing about Bigfoot is the missing link. Nah, whatever. Humanity is stupid.
Well, why are they still around? Why are they still around?
I can't say the S word?
You said don't say that word, and you said it anyways.
The S word.
You broke your own rules.
Don't worry about it. Just pass it off and just go on.
Just ignore it.
Man, I didn't even know that was a bad word.
What do you mean? Oh my gosh.
So what are you supposed to say? Dumb?
Yeah. Just say supposedly.
I hate this.
Just stick to your supposedly.
Just say supposedly every time.
Okay.
Can't say any word. Just say supposedly.
This whole censor thing is hard, man. It's hard. Blee.
I don't get that. We always mark our video as not for kids anyway. I don't know why YouTube is still so strict about.
What up, Dagger?
Hey,
Dagger! Oh my god, I caught. Yeah, Dagger! Everybody say hi to Dagger.
I already did. What's up?
What's up?
Yo, Dagger, just 411. We can't cuss anymore because,
YouTube took it out on our last podcast.
Policy.
For various reasons.
So for our real talk, it's kind of real talk because we can't really go all out.
Talk.
Yeah. We could only say supposedly.
Well, yeah. That's got to be the inside joke for tonight.
Today we're talking about Dulce Light, we're talking about monsters, we're talking about Bigfoot, we're talking about Loch Ness Monster. No, we haven't talked about Loch Ness Monster yet, but we're talking about...
We'll talk about that.
The New Jersey Devil.
Monkey,
Did I say
Monkey
that
knows
twice?
all about Bigfoot riding on Loch Ness Monster.
Just made it. Sorry, was napping. Hey, DC made it. Yo, DC, you want to join us?
You want to join us? I can send you a link.
Yeah, so then that way we can have more interaction and then you can talk more.
I can send you a link on...
these guys don't know much about Dulce Lab, and I'm pretty sure you know a lot more than they do. So yeah.
But no pressure.
No pressure.
If you would like to join us, I sent a link to you on Discord in the Discord group chat.
Just don't cuss, okay? Because you cuss, we out.
Yes. Yeah, no cussing.
So just keep saying cheese.
No medical misinformation either.
No medical. Oh my gosh! Don't even. I told my friends. I told a bunch of people about that. It's so stupid.
That's how they banned us.
You can use whatever you feel like, as long as you're comfortable with your phone.
Woman's over here eating candy.
You don't have to put makeup on.
Yeah, no makeup required. No sleeveless shirt is fine.
Keeping
I mean,
it
you don't
PG in here.
even need a webcam. You just need a mic. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah,
I think-
Dagger. I can't
You guys
use
can
that
cuss
word.
in the chat, but we can't cuss.
Yeah.
We can't
out.
cuss because YouTube did took down our last live stream.
I'm just
and-
gonna say Fassbender. I'm like Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender, Magneto.
Yeah. Yeah,
Well,
Magneto.
well, they took down
Got
our
it.
they took down our last podcast and hey, what's up?
Yo, DC
Hey,
is
DC.
on.
Yeah, let me put some lights on here, guys.
That's cool. I thought you were gonna go ninja mode.
What's
there
up?
we go.
What's
Nice to
up,
see you,
What's
man?
up? Nice
Yeah,
to
not
see you,
much,
buddy.
Yeah, finally made it on. I'm glad to be on finally.
Yeah. Did you have a good nap? Did you dream about us?
I
Whoa, dude.
I don't know where that was going.
Hey man, welcome. That's just a welcoming thing, you know? It's all good.
That's
Yeah,
an odd welcome.
That's just how we roll here, man. We keep it real.
yeah, I hadn't
Real
had
talk.
a chance to study the whole Dulce thing. I know you guys mentioned it the last time, but I've been pretty
Yeah.
slammed with work here the last week or so.
No, that's cool. What's the basic thing do you know about it?
The one story I remember probably the most is it was like the labs or whatever that was supposed to be under the
Yeah,
I think it's called the Archuleta.
Archuleta, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And there was like a lab down there where like government people worked with aliens
Aliens.
Extraterrestrial, yeah.
on
Yep.
human hybrid breeding projects and so on. That's pretty much the bulk of what I know. I mean, I've seen it for years, but I don't know the specifics off the top of my head. But
Mm.
I mean, I can pull it up on my computers.
Oh no need for that. We don't do research here.
What are you talking? Hey, what are you talking about,
He
man?
blacked out. He went blacked
Uh-oh.
out.
Oh no. He'll be
Oh, man,
back.
the-
He'll be back.
He's
Oh, we
doing
got
research. It's always good to do research, you know.
Yeah,
That's what we do
research is
here.
fine. So yeah. Stuff. and
He
things.
pops in with another one. Hold on a second. Let me remove this.
Okay, yeah, remove.
There we
Okay.
go.
Hey,
we
welcome
go.
back.
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
it's just going through the browser on my phone, so it's a little.
Oh,
crap.
no, it's cool.
So,
Hey, Mendez, what's up?
New research.
No research.
All hearsay.
See, no. Here's my thing though. Research, like, I do my research, but my research is very limited because I don't tend to listen to everybody because I don't think everybody's right and I don't think everybody's wrong. I like to hear people's opinion. I don't like to hear
Oh, that is
you
research.
tell me this. Like I don't like facts because facts doesn't mean anything because it's all in the eyes of the beholder anyway. So sometimes facts can come off as completely nonsensical versus nonsensical can be fact if you get what I'm throwing down.
What you just said is nonsensical.
I was trying really hard to follow what he said. I understand what he was trying to say. Like,
I
no
know what
joke,
you
I
mean,
understand
though,
what he's trying to say. It's just that his wording is just terrible. It's like, none of it makes
But
sense.
I know what you mean, King Mean. You're talking about how there's things that are facts that
Right.
change.
So,
You know?
supposedly fact.
Sometimes those claims facts or those claimed facts are just really just theories
You can't
or just
tell
opinions.
anymore. But you can't tell anymore.
Oh, sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes things that are factual statement that it changed after certain newer finding pops up and stuff. So
Yeah.
you
Dang,
can't
DC,
always.
look at that. Misty just said she likes your beard.
yeah,
That's
thank you.
awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been growing it out, man. It's cold. It's cold here in Kentucky. So
Ooh, Kentucky. I've never
Yeah.
been to Kentucky before.
yeah, out in the middle of nowhere, and
No, that's good though. You guys have a lot of woods and stuff, right?
pretty much. I'm like right in the middle of the Daniel Boone
KFC.
National Forest down here. So yeah, it's. I mean, I'm near a relatively decent sized city in southern Kentucky, but
Nice.
yeah, it's KFC. I just saw the KFC.
Yeah.
I'm about
Yeah,
30
the
miles,
KFC down the street, man.
I'm about 30 miles from the original KFC in Corbin,
Oh,
Kentucky.
dang.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Dang,
So
that's
that, that
cool.
started right here. So
So since you have a lot of woods, do you ever hear noises and stuff that like you question, like Bigfoot, whatever? We're just gonna go with that.
well, I live in a subdivision, so I'd see a lot of deer and everything, but like further out, like around the area I live in, there's a lot of pretty deep woods and everything, and there are quite a few stories about that from around these parts. There's a couple local podcasts that cover a lot of that stuff in this area. It's rather fascinating.
Oh, nice.
You might have heard of one called Hellier, Hellier, Hellier.
Yeah.
But that one I think got on Netflix, or it might have been just on YouTube here. But that covered quite a few different topics, everything from like demonology and like the underworld entrances, like into like cave systems, because we have Mammoth Cave here too. The Mammoth Cave system that's supposed to lead into quote unquote inner Earth, you know. So.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, we can do a whole podcast about Inner Earth. Inner Earth, man. I know Inner Earth is real.
always fascinating to me. Man.
It's very fascinating
when I first heard about
it. I mean, didn't recently like there's a what do you call that thing? In China,
Sinkhole?
the sinkhole,
Yeah.
the big sinkhole in China, and there's like a forest inside of it. It was kind of strange to have a forest inside a sinkhole.
Dude, that is so weird you mentioned that. I literally just watched a documentary on that like 2 hours ago.
See, man.
It's
Synchronicity. There we go.
Synchronicity. It's a thing. I don't understand why people. I don't understand why people say that's not a thing.
It's only been known about for like 10 years. And they're just now sending in like research teams and stuff to actually map it out and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's like extensive, you know, it covers like a huge area.
It's big. It's massive.
Wow.
Well, it's in China, so we're not going to ever find out what actually is in there.
Well, they sent in an American geologist to do the main surveying, so it looks like it's an international effort, you know.
Interesting.
Of course, there's a Chinese, like, plenty of handlers and everything to make sure they don't go where they shouldn't or whatever.
Yeah.
Because who knows what's down in some of those caves, you know, or whatever, like ancient civilization stuff, you know, that they don't want, you know, people to know about.
Yeah.
For all we know, that's where Atlantis is.
Right.
It's not at the bottom of the ocean.
Shambhala,
It's
Earth.
Yeah. Those are interesting.
I mean, there's always stories about like a land beyond our land somewhere, and like a lot of culture has those stories as well. So yeah.
Well, it's not necessarily land beyond land or land that's like hidden or everything.
Yeah.
One of the programs I just got done, you know, watching earlier was one about a land called Doggerland. It's up around like between England and like Denmark or whatever. And as the ice age like came and went, and the water levels like went up like 350 feet or down 350 feet. Those lands are down there. You know, there used to be villages and towns and people or whatever, and then the water level changed, and they're just all underwater now. So that's supposedly what happened to Atlantis. You know,
and that's how you say supposedly.
Exactly.
Yeah, supposedly,
not a B.
Supposedly.
So the
he just swapped the D around as a B.
Just don't ask Marvel.
Mean always says supposedly, and that's becoming a joke throughout this whole podcast.
I cannot say supposedly correctly, so it's always B. It's always B.
You keep adding the B. You erase the D and add
just
a B.
erase the B.
No, I don't want to. So Fizzin says, under California, Mount Shasta, there's a secret Lemurian city called Telos. Yep. I've heard about that.
I've heard of that too. I heard Hawaii was like a big part of Lemuria, especially the island of Maui. Maui literally means land of the or house of the sun.
I heard Mount Shasta has an inner Earth entrance. Yeah, I heard about that.
It wouldn't
as
surprise
well.
me.
Right.
Okay,
Misty.
better be back, Misty. Starry Night.
Better not ghost Starry.
I mean, the fact that like there's a lot of different entrance to Inner Earth, but they're all like sealed off.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing that's interesting. Like certain places
and they
say
very well hidden too.
Yeah, certain places where there's an entrance, it's always government protected. Like like even yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Right. I don't know. I haven't been there. Good.
Supposedly.
Yeah. It's interesting to me about the whole Inner Earth thing because like Tibetan monk talk about that stuff, and like the thing with Tibetan monk is like some of the stuff that they do out there is very fascinating that nobody talks about. So I've seen video clips and I've seen pictures and I've read books as well. Yes, I do read some book. When they
singular book.
Right. When they pass away, like they're actually like enlightened to the point where they're dusting away like Thanos snap. That's the best way I could describe it, but like there's a legit photo of them, like people documenting them, like
like physically, like ascending, like
yeah, like physically turned into dust. Like
Wow.
I'm not
So-
talking about like dust.
so
I'm
the-
talking about like it's kind of like it's weird. I don't know how to put it. It's like a spiritual dust. So it's like gleaming gold, tint of gold, like stardust. And they just kind of fade away slowly, like just pieces by pieces. It's insane. If you guys ever check out on YouTube or something, I know there's clips of it available. I don't know if they're still up, but
I gotta go look for those.
yeah, but
I
it's
gotta-
really interesting because if they can
Yeah.
do that, like, and they said that they learned that through like their ancient ways, like this always passed down to them, and they said, yeah, inner Earth is a thing, and we know all about it. Like, it's interesting because the book that they read or the way they were taught, like, if they can do that, imagine how many more secrets they're hidden from the public. Well, I guess the public don't want to know anyways, and since you're a monk, you just do your own thing, right? You don't come and share it with the world. That's not what real
Yeah.
monks do. Real monks is all about solitude and just, at oneself, basically.
Yeah, personally, I used to know it was an old neighbor of mine when I lived in Virginia. She worked at the Smithsonian, and she had heard stories. You remember, like at the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark when they put the Ark of the Covenant in the box?
yeah.
That warehouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that warehouse is like allegedly, true.
I
Uh,
would.
And it's like under DC. There's like a secret area under DC where they like the Smithsonian like archives or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just massive. And they say only like 1% of the things that they've found around the world are actually displayed in the Smithsonian museums.
Oh, I can
I
totally.
believe that. I believe
Yeah.
that for sure.
And
I
they
can
cover
see that.
stuff
Yeah.
up, like for example, they like the Egyptian artifacts they found out in the Grand Canyon. That's supposedly. There I go. Oh,
Heck
No,
yeah.
you said it right. You
No.
said it right, so you're fine.
It's
You're fine.
infected you.
yeah, I'm trying to use allegedly.
Yeah, you try to use it.
I'll be the supposedly guy. You be the allegedly guy.
Okay. So yeah, a lot of that stuff is allegedly down there in those, that they've taken from all these places, because that happened back in 1909, and there were like news articles on it, but it just all disappeared. Nobody ever talked about it again.
Right. What do you think about DC? I know you used to work in with the, the G folks.
Well,
Chief.
somewhat. I was a civilian guy.
Yeah.
I worked for a lot of different big companies and everything.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't really have like any direct exposure to a lot of that. So I mean, I saw some interesting things and stuff, but, and I heard a lot of interesting stories. But like I mentioned, I think prior, a lot of that stuff, I'll sort of talk about it like in passing, but.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't get into it here,
Oh no! I'm not like the thing that I was trying to bring up is there's certain documents that's released by intelligence agency, and they put it online. After for so many years you have to disclose certain things,
Right.
and they disclose a lot of stuff, and like,
Later, Mendez.
oh yeah, bye.
Bye.
Let's see, I just can't stay long. I have to sleep. Have a good night. Yeah, so stuff that is declassified, they put it online and for people to read, and there's some nutty stuff on there, but wait,
Yeah, I
what?
remember they released some stuff back around the 2016, 2017 election or whatever. It came out with a lot. It was like some of the State Department stuff, and they finally released a lot of things. And I noticed, I wish I could remember, it was an ancient ancient Sumerian person, but there was supposedly like a Freedom of Information Act request filed to request documents for like a life extension chamber that was found in the ruins of like ancient Sumeria. I forget. I want to say it was like Gilgamesh or something. But I found that fascinating that was actually in there. I mean, they didn't say if they ever released it to anybody or anything, but somebody requested that from the government, and so it made me think, well, maybe if they're asking the government for it, then obviously they heard from somebody that the government has something about that.
Right.
You know.
But Yeah, but what I'm saying is like sometimes they do release legit stuff and like nobody takes the time to read it. Like, I cheat. Like, there's a video online where people like show certain pages and where to go look at the government website to read all the information. I don't remember which one I read, but there was some strange stuff in there that was like actually display in public view and you can go view it, but nobody seems to talk about it. But when you talk about
because
with normal people,
it's older
they,
documents, so no one
Yeah, when
really
you-
cares.
And nobody's talking about it, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not
Exactly,
something
but-
that's posted in the media.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's out there, and if you're reading it and you show them the facts, and you're like, "Hey, this is released by your government," they still come at you as you're like a crackhead.
because
like,
they don't know, they're unaware of it. That's why.
It's
I
insane,
mean,
but it's,
there are certain things that have to be declassified after a certain few years, maybe like 10, 20 years. It's just, and then they put it out there, but no one really cares because it's so old. But yeah,
It was typically always 50 in the past, and then they've extended it up to 70 now in a lot of cases. And then they can file for extensions to that if any of the people were still alive or they're still using the same methods, for whatever. Like, say it's an Intel document or something. If they're using those same methods now, they won't release it. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Hey,
I
It totally makes sense.
recently.
can you go to
It's just an extension or
957?
expiration date for the documents.
What's that?
Oh, it's just Prison saying that with
talking about
acoustic
acoustic
levitation,
levitation.
they can channel sound through objects and they can
That's
lift
what-
up the stuff.
that's-
Yeah.
So what
I've
he's
read,
saying is that the people in the past, ancient people, that is using acoustic levitation to build like
Okay,
pyramids
Chloe.
and stuff, like, right?
Yeah,
Sound
there
waves
was-
that are powerful.
Well, there were
Yeah.
pyramids, the pyramids, but also in modern times, there's a place called Coral Castle down in Florida.
Yep.
And
That's the place.
somebody mentioned that,
They said science today study this.
yeah, supposedly,
And it worked.
allegedly,
There you go.
someone saw this old man like in there at the middle of the night with a little box attached to like
Yep.
a piece of the coral or whatever, and he was like levitating.
All right,
up
all right,
the
bye.
place.
Be right
Oh,
back, guys. I was all right. See you in a bit then.
I like what Dagger says. Normies don't want to do theirs.
No. So
Well,
normies
if you
are
don't
too busy
want-
on TikTok.
If you don't want to do the research, that's fine, but don't go ridicule everybody who shows you
Well,
the evidence. Like
that's it.
you can't say everybody is a tinfoil wearing hat conspiracy theorist. If we try to present the facts and you don't appreciate it or take the time to read it, don't come to us that way. That's the thing I don't get.
I
It's
mean,
like,
if you never spend at least 5 minutes to do research on it, you shouldn't have like go around calling other people as BS. Like because these people, that's what they just do.
Coral Castle was one
Coral
guy.
Castle.
Yep.
was-
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally open with most, quote unquote conspiracies, but there are some. I mean, even if I don't disagree with it, I'll hear people out. I mean, I'll look into it more if it's interesting and stuff. I still may not, agree with everything. I mean, in the last one, I think you guys did when we were talking about. Well, I don't even want to say anything.
I don't know if that topic is even because we got our podcast.
We got a strike.
deleted
We got a
last.
strike.
We got a podcast deleted last. So. Because
Yeah,
It's not a strike, it's a
something
warning.
must have been.
I don't know.
Something must have
the
been
conversation
sensitive.
just had to do with space and stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you remember, that's all I'll say. But
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just a lot. I mean, I'm probably sort of 50% on that. I probably believe half of it. Believe in taking.
It's good to be in the
mainstream
middle
argument.
ground and
No,
just
here's
keep an
the cool-
open.
Here's the cool
Fine.
part, DC. That's your opinion, and that's awesome. That's all there is to it. Nobody can take that away from you. So that's the thing I want to, like, when I talk about nutty stuff with people, that's what I want. I want honest opinion, and if that's your honest opinion, totally respect that, because I had never been there, so I really can't say this or that. All I can say is the evidence here seems more plausible than the evidence there, from my point of view. So it's fine.
Right. And I mean, I have a group that I have, in the Signal Messenger. I don't know if you're familiar with Signal.
Yeah.
But like the Signal Messenger, we talk about all these kinds of things and everything and stuff. And a lot of people, don't agree, but my main rule in my group is just keep it civil. Don't no
Yeah.
personal attacks or anything. Like
Oh yeah,
that.
yeah. We don't need
Debate all you want,
that.
But
you know.
anywhere online, you talk about space or flat Earth or whatever, just always
Hey,
getting
bro.
attacked.
Hey,
man.
easy,
Hey,
easy on it, easy on it.
Calm down.
Yeah, man, I'm just
Watch
saying.
yourself. Chuck.
He's already posted in the
You-
comment section, man.
YouTube got that audio detection, bro.
No, that's medical. What'd you call it?
What's your
Oh,
thoughts on
Fizzin-
Medical
Chupacabra?
misinformation.
Fizzan's asking you, what's your thought on Chupacabra, DC?
Chupacabra, yeah. I mean, it's what they call it, like xenobiology, like weird creatures and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, yeah, there's stuff out there. I mean, Bigfoot falls under that.
Yeah.
Yep. Crypto.
There's Chupacabra. There's stuff like that from all over the world. Every culture.
I think Chupacabra, like, I mean, we're doing, like, we don't know what government does underneath their base and their hybrid project or experiment. So maybe Chupacabra is like a hybrid type creature thing. I don't know. It's possible.
Yeah, just kind of like the Montauk Project or the Montauk Monster.
Yeah, the Montauk. Yeah, the one they found on the beach.
Beach,
washed up on the beach. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an
interesting
interesting one. Yeah. Well, supposedly that was like an interdimensional like portal that they opened out there in Montauk. And that
Montauk,
movie,
yeah.
that movie The Mist was based on it. So
Yep. Oh, the Arrowhead Project in the Mist. Boom!
Yeah.
I got it. I love that movie. No, that's the thing that we were talking earlier. I don't know if you were here. We were talking about Bigfoot, and we're thinking Bigfoot is. Well, I think Bigfoot is a interdimensional being. How else to do? People see them like 1 second, and then the next they're gone. It's just like, and then natives folks also mentioned that like they have the was it cloaking, like they can. Basically, like the Predator type scenario where they can cloak themselves so you can't see them.
Like a stealth?
Like a stealth
suit?
thing, yeah. But not necessarily a suit. It's more of just a glitch from one dimension to the next in terms of that, I guess.
and they can use sound waves to affect your brain and how you perceive things. So it might even just be back to talking about audio stuff. Maybe they just can put out some kind of hum or something that just interferes with your.
I mean, it's already scientifically proven that sound can manipulate your head and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, what do you think about HARP? I know that's an old topic that a lot of people don't talk about anymore, but what do you think
Weather
about HARP and
manipulation.
weather manipulation?
HARP, weather manipulation. That's been around forever.
Yeah. And that's a thing, right?
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Absolutely.
It's
I mean,
a
still don't know about
they
it,
have
yo.
patents of it. They have patents
That's
of
the
weather
thing.
manipulation.
Even the
And geoengineering and all that
yeah,
stuff.
the
Yep.
geoengineering and the stratospheric atmosphere injection, the planes and everything, and
Planes with the
dropping chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean that's basically cloud seeding. They
Yes. Cloud seeding, yeah.
China did that during one of the Olympics because they didn't want to have their Olympics rained out. So they cloud seeded in the eastern part of China, and it caused such massive floods that it killed millions of people. Back in the day, because all the water just fell out of the sky basically.
Right.
So so that's been going on for a long time. Now HARP, on the other hand, I mean I've heard everything from heating the atmosphere to like underwater communications to actually looking underground. Allegedly.
I love it.
That's how they found Bin Laden in the caves when he was in in
I heard
Bora
that.
or Tora Bora or whatever that place is over there. That's how they actually looked inside the caves using HARP. So I mean there's that's a wide open thing, but really in reality it's just a radio wave array.
Well, yeah, but
that can
the
shoot
thing
stuff,
is, the thing is, radio wave does have the possibility to do certain things, change certain things in your system as well, right? Because
I mean, I think most likely it's probably like weather related, and it's probably underwater
I
submarine.
mean, there's small scientific experiment that they can create rain cloud in a container or whatever. So it's possible for them to do it in a larger scale.
Well, there's actually a government building just south of D.C. that has such a huge atrium inside of it that like clouds actually form in the top of it.
Dang, see,
That's how
that's what I'm
big it
talking
is.
about. So if they have that technology, and that's basically the technology that they can show to the public, like the stuff that they're not showing must be like
if they can
100 years
if
advanced.
they can create rain cloud, then why aren't they just like put that out in places that's like all dried up and
They
stuff.
haven't figured out how to monetize it yet.
Exactly. You
Like
can,
there's places that
It's
are
all the money.
like
If there's
super
no
drought
money, they're
and
not
all
gonna
that
do
and
it.
dried up and
that's
dying
true.
and
That's totally true.
I'm pretty sure cancer was cured like 30
Yeah,
years
I'm
ago.
pretty
but
sure
they're
that-
not-
that's
there's-
I'm sure.
that makes so
I'm
much
sure.
money for big pharma. They're never going to release it.
Oh no, they can make money by making vaccines for.
hey, watch
Oh,
it.
well,
Watch
yeah,
it.
Whoa,
Got it.
whoa,
I'll cut
calm
back.
down
I'll
on
cut
those
back. I'll cut
terms,
back.
man.
I'll cut back.
Like,
Slip. I slip.
Yeah, some of those terms will get us
Yeah.
gone. So what
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think?
So can
No,
we,
but that's
can
not
we-
misinformation though. It's true.
Harp,
Can
yeah.
we figure out how to tell? I want to like tell the story of why our last one was taken down without,
Do it.
using
So-
the same.
Do it.
So
Yes.
okay, so
Just
DC, I
explain
want your
differently.
opinion on this because this is so incredibly ridiculous.
Mhm.
So there's a certain Marvel movie that just came out. I'm not going to say anything really other than that because I don't know what triggered our video being struck down. But in this new movie, a character dies off screen from something.
Certain illness.
From a certain mystery illness. One of us mentioned the certain mystery illness that has been going around for the last few years, and we made a joke about it. YouTube took our video down, saying that we were spreading misinformation
medical
about
misinformation.
that thing that's been going around for the last few years. They took us down and they gave us a strike for spreading medical misinformation about a fictional character that dies off screen, and they gave us a strike for that and a warning. Like, what is that?
It's not a strike, but it's just a warning. The next time we do it, it will be a strike. Yeah.
Like, what? Come on.
You can't joke anymore, man. It's
That's
sensitive.
This is the
It's
world that we
sensitive.
live in.
Yeah,
You
so
can't even.
the funny thing about that
Hold on,
video, there's a
dude.
lot of cussing in it, but like, it got taken down because of misinformation. That's it.
medical misinformation.
Medical
But
misinformation.
I'm not-
here's the crazy
Let's
part.
not specify that. Let's not specify
No.
that. Anymore.
Here's the crazy part. So of all the topic that we talk about in that podcast, they took us down for something that we said like a joke about from a movie review. Basically, we review a movie, we make a joke about some I can't say the word, but yeah, they took us down because
bug,
of that.
the bug.
The bug.
Apparently, their algorithm is searching for that word more than anything else. Apparently,
Right. I get it. It's a recent subject. It's a heated debated thing. I get it. But again, like, we're talking about movies, though.
yeah.
I don't know.
You know, whether you like or hate, like Elon, for example, that's what I'm glad that he did on Twitter is he just allows people to talk now without.
Yeah.
I just got verified on Twitter, so I
Whoa, look at you.
Nice.
I
Blue
put
check
check
mark.
Do you have to pay? Is he making people pay? I'm so behind. I don't have any.
No, there's
social
two ways
media
to get
stuff.
the check mark.
Yeah.
Or there's a few different ways to get check marks.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
like
cool.
a month or whatever. I mean, if you're like a public figure, I think for a different amount or something, or I don't know, it's cheaper. It should be more expensive for the rich folks,
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree.
Like you'd have to
it's-
pay. So.
Yeah, what's going on, Fizzin? What do you want?
He starts talking about how AI is silly.
Oh,
when it
AI
comes to
don't
it.
have
Oh,
a sense
yeah.
of humor. Yeah,
Well,
no kidding.
yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I pulled up a chat here on my computer so I can see Fizzin talking with and still see the screen.
Yeah. He can't talk, so
yeah, he has a condition for a couple years now that he can't talk.
Mm,
So
Yeah, he ticked off God.
Yeah,
God
if you-
smite him.
God
if you were to
smote
go
the
back to
vocal
like the
cords.
older like videos and podcasts, man, he's was
He's
like
brutal.
at it.
Fizzin is he popped off a lot, and and so I guess God took away his voice or something.
It's bound to happen.
It was bound to happen. Careful.
Just yank his vocal cords out.
That's misinformation.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Mm.
So yeah,
What are you?
we were talking about the AI stuff, Fizzin, and I think you were in there too. Is it Eisen? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Eisen.
Um, we talked about that for a bit, I guess, in the Discord last night. I have it pulled up right now, man. It's creepy. Just how
Dude, that AI stuff, the open AI stuff. I've seen people like, you know how you think being a software engineering might secure your job in the future because everything's going digital. But the AI is gonna take over. They can program. They can write programs for anybody who doesn't even know how to use code. So
that's what I'm talking about.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, because like one of the questions right here on the example screen of things to ask it is like, how do I make a HTTP request in JavaScript? It'll tell you, it'll give you the code or whatever.
And the AI just dropped the code for you, and you just copy and paste. You got yourself a program or something. I saw someone actually make a small game, a short game, using the open AI. It's crazy. Like the person doesn't have any coding skill whatsoever, but they're using the open AI to create a small game, and that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
this is a small step.
I wonder about, there's all these apps now of like having a virtual AI friend or whatever. I downloaded one just for fun to.
Oh, I know which one that
mess
is.
with it.
Yeah.
And it's like it is obviously trying to learn. It is obviously trying to report back to its masters so that because like you can rank each reply that the thing gives you to be like you can thumbs up, thumbs down, or whatever, and it's like they're taking that data to make the AI
he's talking about the World
smarter.
Economic Forum here.
Oh, he's Dagger's cutting deep.
Yeah, like I just
through.
Question about the JavaScript or whatever that gave me 4 different methods on how to do a web request or whatever. And it has copy code right next to it. I can just copy and paste it.
Yeah,
easy. Yeah.
Well, Elon himself said by 20 he said this like many years ago. He said by 2025 AI will take over. Like that's the year. That's the year when AI is going to become the norm.
I think
basically.
the software-based AI is going to develop faster because there's deep learning and software related stuff. But the robotic AI is also going to come as well.
To be made before we finally learn our lesson. Like
no, it's okay, man. It's okay.
Everybody, like Elon said, he knows that AI is dangerous, and he told the world that. But at the same time, he said it's inevitable. Well,
it's gonna happen.
It's just gonna happen.
Well, there's our AI, which is artificial, just artificial. That's like ChatGPT, but then there's also artificial general intelligence, like the next level up. That's where it becomes like where it can literally you can give it access to like a pool of data, or just like set it loose on the internet, and it'll learn.
Yeah, self-learning and all that.
So that's the question.
And then you have the AI that will try to mimic us and try to be more like understanding emotions and all that stuff, and that's when things can get really scary. Once AI can have emotion, oh man.
So here's the thing that I was thinking. Like, this is my own personal conspiracy in my head. Like not too long ago. So basically, like the gray is let's say the gray is us in the future. Like no gender, no nothing, no soul. Nothing, just a vessel, an android almost. So their species are dying, and so they come back to the past. They try to learn what makes them a human, and so when they come back to the past, they bring that technology with them from the future, and that technology is the AI that we're getting now. So then, in terms by them coming back, we are becoming them because of their exactly. It's crazy if you think about that. I don't know. That's just my humble opinion, and I think it's pretty cool and not so cool. But if we are the gray that certain gray community talks about, then that's how it would happen. They would come back, seeding the technology that they have in the future to create them unknowingly. That's going to trigger the event.
Well, they know.
I don't know if they know. Do they know?
I would think they would. If they came from the future, then they know what they did, right?
Well, they might come back here to try and fix it, but because they have that technology with them, it just trigger it without them wanting to go that direction.
Technically, they don't have to know exactly what they did wrong. They might not even know what they did wrong. That's why they're going back in time. But the problem is they went back with their technology and just kind of repeating the cycle.
If it's a time loop type scenario and not the end game type scenario where multiple timeline. But if it's a time loop type, they should know that what causes their destruction is them going back, right?
Well, if we're talking about generational gaps, you don't know, like, the history unless
the history they got in the future is wrong. So
it's wrong, exactly. Yeah. History is written by whoever's the winner. So
the winner, yep.
Yeah. So
I'll call it Peripheral.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you were just saying.
Peripheral, there's a new show.
Oh yeah, I started watching that on Amazon.
Yeah, that's basically what you were just talking about, man. You know, it's like,
really?
Like 1,000 years in the future, and I guess instead of coming back physically, they do it through like a virtual reality headset.
Yeah.
But it's not a game. It's a fully immersive headset. Well, it's not. It's a headset, but it actually taps into their brain, so it's literally taking their consciousness into the future.
Yeah, they have like android bodies of that same person, and then they send their consciousness. I think they call it like, I want to say it was quantum tunneling or something like that.
Is that the show with Chloe?
That's an actual term.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then so they play the game by putting the headset on, and it transfers their consciousness into an android version of themselves 1,000 years in the future. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's not crazy. The idea is out there.
But like you were saying, like in 1,000 years in the future, they don't have all the records of everything that happened.
Right.
Out, you know, what's going on. So
yeah, because there's been some sort of disaster that's like destroyed the world. So
yeah, a mutated alien
they don't know.
If a mutated alien is from us from the future, they came back just to end up turning into them. Yeah, it's a thing. Like sometimes when you try to change stuff, you are the one who created stuff.
You trigger it, you activate it.
Yeah, it's intentionally or not, I don't know. I can't say, but it's one of those concepts that's like interesting to think about, and like every time I see the gray, and when people talk about the gray as us in the future, that always pops up. It's like, what if they're trying to prevent happening, but then it's happening because they're here? So if they weren't here, maybe it wouldn't go that way. It's weird. But then let's say the AI technology is from them, then we wouldn't have AI if they weren't here, and then our life wouldn't be miserable. I don't know how it works. The world is weird, man. All I know is I'm just a low IQ guy on YouTube, just talking and just thinking, and yeah.
Supposedly.
So, yeah. I'm just a dude who just wants to talk freely about what's inside my head, and sometimes it's hard to explain, like to normal people. I don't have friends that I can talk to at work or anything like that. It's kind of
a TV show. I mean, have you guys seen Fringe back? I guess it was about 15 years ago or so. But it was like a bald guy that came back from the future, and he was like they thought he was like a watcher. They didn't know what he was, but he.
Yeah, Fringe. Are you talking about Fringe?
Yeah,
Fringe.
Yes, yeah. I love that show.
That's a good show.
Hats around.
Yeah. That's what's his name was in there. Spock was in there for a few seasons, I think.
Zachary Quinto.
Huh?
Zachary Quinto.
No, the OG Spock, man.
Oh. I had to think about that.
No, I think it's funny too, because like Fringe is one of those shows where like, and the entertainment industry is kind of a glimpse into the future sometimes. Like, you know, like the OG Star Trek had their communicators, and then, you know, X amount of years later, now we have our cell phones that are basically the same thing. There's like sci-fi shows. It's like they'll put stuff out there just to kind of see how people react to it, and then they release that tech. Allegedly. Allegedly.
I was gonna say allegedly there are folks in like the CIA working with sci-fi shows. At least that's what
to leak it.
To leak.
It was a Pentagon Office of Disinformation.
Yeah.
And people like Carter, who wrote X-Files, and they were like bits of information to make a TV show about stuff, and a whistleblower or whatever it really came out from the company. Then they just say, "Oh, he's been watching too much X-Files."
Just like the Men in Black. It's like, oh, that's just Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones. This is just a joke, man. Why are you taking it so serious? Yeah.
The Stargate show, for example.
Stargate.
Yeah, Stargate. Yeah. But imagine.
What,
Imagination doesn't get it's inspired imagination. True.
Yeah.
So I don't remember what document I watched, but basically this guy, he said everything is out there in space. It's kind of like a radio wave. If your brain can tune into it, you can pick up. You can catch the technology that's out there already exists in space.
The idea
is always there. You just have to tune into it to grab it. If you can tune in to grab it, you can get it.
The idea is that if you think of something, it's already out there, and someone can tune into it and then pick it up, and then they think they have an original idea, but it's actually someone else's idea, and it's just floating up there.
Yeah, there's supposedly like
it's addictive, man. It's addictive.
Like the Akashic record. Have you heard?
Yes.
of it?
Yes. That's it.
Everything from all times, past, present, and future, are all out there, and you just have to know how to tap into that.
Right.
Ideas,
What's his name? Tesla. Like Tesla, he was one of the guys who said that. He's like, the idea just came to me in a dream. Like I just dreamt of it, and I drew it, and it just came to me in a dream. And so, what's his name? The artist guy, Da Vinci. Da Vinci.
Guy. Oh yeah.
Yeah. He also mentioned something like that. So it's fascinating. It's like
What did Fizzin pop up there for a second? I didn't see it.
I don't know.
Let's say a movie in the 80s that shows a flat screen TV, then that is based on TV. Flat or not is not the point. It's the point that it's based on something. Yeah. Well, like I always think of that scene in Back to the Future 2, where the Jaws hologram
The 3D?
comes down and
hologram,
bites. Like at the time, that's like, oh, there's no way that's ever a thing. And now 3D's like super commonplace,
Yeah. Holographic projection.
And if you have the AR glasses, you can actually see 3D stuff that you can interact with. It's really cool.
Augmented, yeah.
Well, it's like what Tupac when they did the hologram on stage.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a full 3-dimensional hologram on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been doing that.
I saw a hologram in China that there's a dragon hologram. It looks really real. Like it looks really solid. Like, and it's not one of those things where you need like an augmented reality glass or anything. It's like you can just see it because it's just a hologram. But it looks really real. It's crazy.
Yeah,
and again, that's just
careful.
That's
about
just the
when those things hit those two tall things in that city out in the east part of the United States. Supposed to have a hologram.
Yeah.
And so, it because it looked like it sort of went through the building, but it didn't.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's Fizzin saying?
What's Fizzin?
So, you Red Monkey, you're good.
So here's the twist. Red Monkey, you're good.
That's the little IQ kicking in, man.
How did
ancient
Indian
Indian text that's older than Buddha talked about spaceships, flying air vehicles, metal, shooting nukes?
Indian talks about the Vimana, which is a aerial flying vehicle that they talk about in ancient scripture, in ancient Buddhist scripture, the Vimana. Have you guys heard about that?
Well, even the Bible, the Book of Revelation, talks about stuff, that pretty easily translates to things like helicopters and, stuff like that. That the John that wrote the book never. I mean, it was 2,000 years ago. Nobody knew what a helicopter was, even an airplane or anything like that.
Well, what Fizzin was talking about is the Bhagavad Gita, and that's the ancient Indian text, and it was actually quoted by Oppenheimer after the first nuclear explosion when he said, "Now I am destroyer of worlds." That came from, I forget, Indian god or whatever, when he
Shiva, I think.
When he passed out a weapon down to the earth, and he said all the animals scattered, ran to the river, the fires came out. It was basically a nuclear weapon that was passed down by the gods. Like it wasn't like 2,000, it was like 24,000. So it's interesting. I have a copy of it somewhere.
Oh dang! How would you break the loop? Dagger said, how would you break the loop?
Time loop.
Yeah.
John Connor.
You can't make something out with the inspiration.
How did people older than Buddha talk about these spaceship without prior inspiration? Well, maybe they exist. It's as simple as that. Like Occam Razor is as simple as thing is the answer.
Sometimes the answer.
Yeah, sometimes the answer is as simple as stuff. Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, they saw that. Every culture had like a god. Like even like one of the most primitive tribes in Africa called the Dogon. You know, they when they were asked like a long time ago,
the straw spaceship suit, right?
Your ancestors come from. They pointed to the star Sirius.
Yeah.
Or Sirius because it's a binary star system. So back at that star. But now we've actually found an exoplanet.
Yeah.
You know, and that's supposedly where they're from, according to them.
Hey, if they say that's where they're from, that's where they're from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of like
It's
the Battlestar.
It's a possibility, yeah.
Did you ever watch the Battlestar Galactica at the very end of it was the newer series. When they all
the one with all the hot ladies?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know, supposedly, like when they at the end.
Sorry, you keep
your audio is cutting in and out, so it's kind of.
Oh, you might want to check your audio settings within the what's this place called?
StreamYard.
Yeah.
StreamYard.
Oh yeah.
Audio. You want me? Do I need to bring it up? Do you think?
Oh, there you go.
That's good.
There you go. That's good. That's good.
Clearly.
Okay. I'll set it to automatic.
There you go.
No, but at the end of that series, you know, they all integrated in and they lived the rest of their lives on Earth. And, you know, most people didn't know during that show that they landed here 150,000 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty fascinating. That sort of changed my whole perception on how we might have came to Earth. So.
Well, yeah, see, that's the thing, though. Like, in history book, like, it teaches you that, like, folks back then are primitive and doesn't have the skill set to do what we can do now. Like, you kidding me? Like, they can build pyramids back then, and we can't. Even with the stuff that we have now, it would take like a bunch of machines and years of planning.
And it wouldn't be as perfect. Too.
It wouldn't be as perfect,
and it wouldn't last as long as well.
Yeah, and you're telling me that we're better than them? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know about that.
Well, it's like, you know, Graham Hancock in his new series on Netflix, The Ancient Apocalypse. He basically said we had the advanced technology back then, but now we're a species with amnesia. We forgot.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's kind of like the Dr. Stone thing, you know, the anime, where the past is actually more advanced than the present.
Yeah, we've had up and down cycles, ebbs and flows.
Yep.
You know, knowledge comes and goes. You know, I believe in Atlantis. I believe in Lemuria. I believe in like everything. Yeah, and I believe that there were many other, you know, civilizations before that, millions of years ago.
Oh yeah,
that have come and gone. Some of them left Earth. You know, or like you said, are probably the aliens that are coming back now. You know, so
you don't know. You don't know. Yeah, time is such a freaking funny thing. It's like, and then if you talk about. Okay, it blows my mind. Like, let's say space has infinite, whatever, planets, stars, whatever. Okay, that's just one space. And then you talk about multi-dimensional, like multi-universe, and then it's just like stacks and stacks and stacks.
Stacks of layers
so like,
it's just, and then you add past, present, and future, and then it's insane how big it is.
And every past, present, and future has a past, present, and future.
Right, it has a bridge that goes as off. It's insane. Like,
and then
that's why
on top of that, you have time dilation. And
exactly.
Exactly. Super complicated. I mean,
yeah, it's a good thing we have Kang to keep it all under control, right?
Oh, we don't talk about Kang, man. Hey, what's going on? Fizzin said, so what's your take on why we were told of Earth's specific age and cover anything that goes against it?
Earth specific age.
Yeah, you know how in school they taught us like Earth is this many years old.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, I taught them. Well, I believe the science that 13.8 billion or whatever, and 4.6 billion for Earth and stuff. I believe that's pretty accurate, and I sort of cross things on that. I sort of cross between, I think Monkey, I know you were talking about some religious stuff and everything, and people believing the Earth is younger or older or whatever. I believe it's older, but I'm still a Christian and I still believe in God and everything. But I believe that like the whole universe was like created by like a supreme being. Call him God, call him whatever you want based on your religion, but I believe that he did it scientifically, not just like snapping his fingers and making it happen, But in the Bible, in the book of Genesis, they had to have a way to explain the creation of the universe to people who had no scientific understanding. It was allegorical,
Yeah.
My opinion.
Well, and we've talked about it before. Like, I mean, I choose to believe that the Bible is literal. So when it says that God created it in 6 days and then he rested, that was 6 24-hour periods. That's my interpretation of the Bible, how I choose to look at it. But then there's verses later on in the Bible that say a day to God is like 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is like a day. So to me, that kind of leaves God's interpretation of time open-ended, because he's relative. God. He's outside of our time and space. He doesn't follow any of our rules. So it's like, I wouldn't be surprised if the world started with a big bang. There's no reason why it couldn't have.
And God created the heavens and the earth. That's the big bang. And
that's the big bang, exactly. Yeah. So like, but I also don't discount people that have a different idea, because for me, that's just how I choose to interpret the Bible. That doesn't make
some people interpret it different. So if you ask multiple people who's reading the Bible, they all have different interpretations. So yeah.
Well, like DC, like you're saying, you're a Christian, but you believe it's X amount of years, older. I have no issue with that. You know what I mean? In my opinion, it doesn't make you any less of a person or less of a Christian just because of something like that, because the Bible's ambiguous on it. It doesn't specifically, specifically say, like Exodus says, do not commit murder. Okay, that you can't really be ambiguous about that. That's a cold, hard fact.
But does it say murder people. Or does it say, well, they always tried to say kill and murder were like the same word in the ancient languages, so again, it's open to interpretation.
Yeah. Ooh, that's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. So it probably is thou shalt not murder, like killing, like in the name of like war or defending yourself or things like that. That's acceptable, but not cold-blooded, like first-degree premeditated murder.
Premeditated, yeah, exactly.
Doesn't say, what about forbidden archaeologists, where there are organizations, organization that keeps hiding certain discovery of ancient past. Like, why is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a interesting question. I mean, there's old groups. There was one called the Rosicrucians, which is sort of up there with like the
Masonic, such a cool name.
Yeah, the Masonic order. And if I believe my parents or my dad's stories and stuff, our family was in that, like centuries ago. But they have ancient mysteries. They have ancient mystery schools, which they like
now we're getting to secret society stuff here.
Heck yeah, that's my favorite.
Like, allegedly, a lot of the stuff that was like burned in like the Library of Alexandria in Egypt and everything, a lot of that stuff got whisked away, and it's like in these ancient mystery schools that are like you said, there's like an organization that keeps that knowledge. Mm-hmm. And you got to like get into it and be initiated into it before you get access.
Yeah, but why? But see, so that means there's just, in my opinion, anyways, that's just telling me that there's another group that is controlling the world that don't want you to know of that fact, because then they'll jeopardize what their whole goal is by teaching you and telling you. If you know of that secret, then it goes against them.
The whole goal is control. Right? I mean, that's the whole control. They don't want free thinkers. They don't want people thinking outside of the box or what they tell you how things are. They don't want that, because the minute you start having a free thinking society, you lose control of your people, right? Because they're not necessarily going to do what they tell you to do. And they don't want that. They try to promote that things like that are going to be anarchy and it's going to be chaos. Have you looked around the world lately? That's kind of what we have. So I
Every
definitely
day is
think,
chaos.
yeah. So
It's getting more dangerous every day. The city,
Dagger.
the city here.
Can you pull Dagger 1032?
1032.
Maybe time is a concept that needs to be believed in order for it to work. I totally agree with that. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that because time to me, like people always say when I say time, and it's time is not a thing. People's like time is a thing because you age, right? And I'm like, well, aging is just your body program
decaying.
is just decaying naturally. It doesn't necessarily mean there's a time. Time isn't the reason why you're decaying. You're decaying because your body just suck and you just decay. That's all there is to it.
It just depends on the environment.
Exactly. It depends on your mindset. It depends on your body, your condition. So it's not necessarily a time thing. So you don't need to say, well, you need time. How else are you going to grow old? It's like, I don't know. Time to me is just time. It's just there for money. That's it. It's just like, I can go work for 8 hours. I can get paid this much.
It's a
just
measurement.
for us to, it's just for us to keep track of.
It's
stuff.
true, but without time, I mean, if a civilization who doesn't have time, they'll think completely different than us, right? They wouldn't think like us. We only think this way because we went to school and we're taught that time is this way.
There's actually a language. I can't remember what continent it's on or anything. It might be like a tribe in the Amazon part of South America or whatever, but their language, they don't have words for time. They don't have past and present tense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everything they say is here and now, and they don't have any way of expressing things that happened in the past or things that are going to happen in the future. So, yeah, I wish I could remember what language that was. But there's another one that's based on Spanish. I believe it's in South America, again. But it's not like a lost tribe or whatever. But it's a more modern society. They talk about their past as if it's the future, and the future as if it's the past.
Mm-hmm.
So they say, I'm going to look ahead to see what happened, in the past and the prior. So it's just odd. So people think that it's all just a construct, really.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something we measure based on a cesium atom, like the decay of a cesium atom. That's how we came up with, our 1 second or whatever, and that's why they call it the atomic clock. So
gotcha.
Yeah.
So Fizzin also asked a question. What is it? 1039. Here's a question for you all. What comes first on 12? What comes first?
12 o'clock or 1 o'clock?
That's a good question.
From a 1 o'clock perspective, it comes before 12.
Yeah.
From a 12 o'clock perspective, it comes after 1. It's before 1.
Yeah, it's just circle. It's like the reset. The day resets. It's like there's years, there's months. But again, they're all constructs. But and then like the Mayans had the Aztecs had their calendar, long calendar that was like 26,400 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why everybody was scared in 2012 or whatever.
2012.
Hey man, 2012 happened. That's all I gotta say.
That's when Mandela started showing up, right?
That's when Mandela effects start showing up, man. So 2012, we go boom, and then someone turn on someone turn on CERN, and then put us into another world, merge us together, and that's why we have Mandela effect, baby. That's just how it is.
It's true though. The Mandela effect didn't came out until 2013, so that's after 2012. So
I'm sorry, I came from a world where it's interview with a vampire. It was never interview with the vampire, and you can. I'll take it to the grave. It's interview with a vampire because I'm a horror fanatic. I watched the movie.
That's what I remember.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bernstein Bears, not Bernstein.
Yeah. You remember, Monkey, when we were at work, in our old workplace, and the gentleman that always go to lunch with us, I was like, yo, do you remember? I was testing it. I was like, yo, do you remember the movie Interview with a Vampire? He's like, yeah, I love that movie. I'm like, that's what it's called, right? Interview with a Vampire. He's like, yeah, that's what it's called. And then I pull up the phone and show him it was never called like that. It was never called that. It's the. And you know what he said? Right automatically he's like, oh yeah, I guess my memory is just bad. It's like,
well, that's like for Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
If his memory was wrong, like how do you have that? You're the first one who said that.
Exactly.
Judgment. So the word judgment without that first E.
Without the E, it looks so wrong.
Hurt. It's wrong. There's no way it's correct.
The thing about the Mandela effect is that there are residue, like certain things that like you can see the residue of what it used to be, but at the same time they said that's not supposed to be a thing. It doesn't exist.
And you know how 100% it's a legit thing? Because Hollywood put out a BS movie about it. That's how you 100 to try to discredit everyone that thinks Mandela is a thing.
They
put
MIB.
out a horrible movie. No, it was called The Mandela Effect.
Yeah, and that movie sucked. It was such a low budget movie.
One of the worst movies I've ever seen. But they
and it doesn't even explain it properly either.
Didn't that whole movie end up just being a simulation?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Yep.
Like it was a glitch in the Matrix.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember the original Mandela. I remember hearing about him dying like in the 80s or whatever, but then...
He's still alive.
But then, he died, I think, in like 2013.
Yeah, later, super late.
Yeah, like 20-some years later.
And that's what started the Mandela effect. That's why it's called the Mandela
effect. Right, exactly. So, but, it's strange, man. I don't know. Well, I think time's just like accelerating or something. It's starting to accelerate.
Nah, man, the world ended in 2012.
The world ended in 2012. Just accept it, DC. The world ended in 2012. Soon open up, move you over here, and then you're like, I still have this memory. But then, like, nah, man, welcome to new reality. Yeah, it's
that way.
Supposedly.
I wasn't there. Remember, guys, the excuse was you all misremember.
Exactly.
But the argument is flawed because 100 of people can't misremember something.
Not even 100 is way more than that.
I was trying to explain to that when King Min mentioned his experience where he's trying to ask someone, is like, hey, do you remember blah blah blah, like this was the name, like nope, exactly.
So if this was misremembered thing, it's like if this was actually that, then man, so many people is like
it's dumb. They're low IQ.
Something.
Yeah, it's like
all there is to it.
It's like how can like so many people misremember the same thing at the same time?
If it's impossible. There's certain ones where I'm like, okay, I can see how that can, but not all of them.
But then there are certain stuff where you know for a fact you know with your memory, because like for example the I Love Lucy thing, like the quote that Ricky Ricardo was saying, that quote never existed in this reality, and for people that who watched that, we know for a fact that quote
got some
exists.
Splaining.
Yeah,
you got some splaining. You know what's weird though? I find
he never says that.
Well, no.
But then in this reality, when you go back and look, he never said that. So it's weird because but you knew he said that. Like
the weird thing though too is I find my brain I think it's like adapting, because it's harder for me, and not just because I'm getting older or whatever, but it's harder for me to remember what it really was before Mandela. You know what I mean? It's like my brain is starting to accept.
It's because we stayed here too long that
our brain is starting to make this the reality as opposed to what we know to be fact.
Well, see, I think it's much more complicated. I think it's like sort of like ripples. Like there are people that we can interact with and talk to online or whatever that are like that originally came from a different space time or whatever. So they
not whatever.
What they're remembering is true. It happened then.
Yeah.
So it's like a merging. It's like a world merging thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's merging. I think it's literally just like a patchwork of different like space times, and it's shifting constantly.
Yeah.
But we can all still communicate with one another.
Oh yeah. Well, the thing is, you've seen those pictures and videos on YouTube where planes and birds froze mid-air, right? Stop moving.
Those are so creepy.
I've actually witnessed a plane that stopped right above me. I witnessed it.
I witnessed that plenty of times too.
It's actually a real phenomenon. It's crazy.
And like right next to an airport too.
When you're driving and stuff and the plane moves, that could be a perspective thing, because you're going this way, the plane's going the opposite way, so it feels like it's kind of feels like it's kind of frozen, but it's actually not. But But we stood outside and saw the plane like froze, like
it
just
froze. It's
hover.
It's
just
not
hover.
moving.
And it's not like a helicopter. It's a plane. It's just not moving. And then it moves after a certain amount of minutes or so.
Yeah,
which is
like
weird.
my old workplace used to be next to an airport, right? So I was like, I was going home. So basically, I was leaving from the airport way. The plane that's supposed to be flying towards me was actually just like hovering above me, rather than flying past me.
A lot of people said that kind of dives into the whole Mandela effect thing, because if you were to reboot a system, you don't want to shut everything down completely, so you shut down a certain fraction of the world. Yeah, certain parts that you deem
using quantum computers.
Quantum computer, thank you. The D wave, and yeah, so that's why certain things froze, because they have to freeze that in order to reload a portion this side. So that's what people are saying.
It's like or something, or that part of the cluster, like
right. It's like
Jurassic Park, right? You can't turn the whole park off at once, because then all the dinosaurs will get out. So you have to do it one section.
Exactly. It all ties in, and like I'm telling you, man, there's so many cool stuff. I went back and watched like old videos of like just 2012 stuff. It's so funny, like I was always a 2012 guy. I want, because I had no retirement fund.
Also a very bad movie, by the way.
We don't talk about that movie, but anyways, it's fine. It's just long and very weird towards the end. I had no retirement fund, and I don't care about my retirement. I'm just gonna die when I die.
So his retirement plan was
hopefully soon. The thing is, like, all my hopes and prayer was for 2012 to end, not because I don't like humanity to begin with, but I don't want people to extinct either. But I don't like the whole genocide thing. But if everybody go in one swoop, that's a different story. Then there's kind of peaceful reset, right? Because nobody's staying alive to be like, oh, I lost my parent, I lost my kid. If it's all one reset, and then a new world start, I'm okay with that. And that's why I was hoping 2012
if you think about it, if everyone is gone, there's no survivors whatsoever.
There's no sorrow.
That means we're all still together.
Exactly. That's why we're here. That's why we're here in this world. That's a interview with the vampire instead of interview with a vampire.
Or J.C. Penney.
401 is a
not
fraud.
To go back
anyways.
to a previous topic, but the airplane pausing thing that you mentioned. I have a memory of like driving into work. I worked at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, where Hangar 18 is, supposedly.
Ooh, supposedly. That's a big supposedly.
Yeah, exactly. But
allegedly,
that particular morning, there had a bunch of British Hawker Harrier jump jets, the vertical takeoff ones.
Yeah.
There were 5 of them hovering above the runway across from my work. And at first, when I first saw them, I was like, what the heck? I had that same thought, like they were paused in midair. But then they started moving around and doing maneuvers and everything. And then later that day, one of them crashed, the engine went out while they were doing maneuvers. And thankfully, the pilot ejected, but the whole base lit up, man. The fire trucks and everything. But the pilot ejected right next to the highway, and actually walked up to the highway, I-70 up north of Dayton, and literally put his thumb out and waved down a car.
That's crazy.
Borrow a cell phone to call his commander.
Yeah, those things are pretty cool. Yeah. But what we're talking about is the passenger jet plane, not
commercial airline,
commercial plane. Yeah,
literally just those
airplanes
that we travel to different countries. Or different trips. Those guys.
Those videos are, and they're creepy.
That was the one that I saw frozen.
Yeah, there are some videos that's just complete fraud.
Oh yeah,
of
course there's BS. Yeah. Of course there's BS videos.
Like you can tell it's like fake video.
Yeah, I rarely trust any of the videos I see, even though I like the UFO ones. I want to believe them, but some of them are just too good.
Yeah. If it's like 4K HDR rendering. It's like, no, that's fake. It's
But,
It's usually always the potato one that's like convincing. It's like, yeah, that might be a real thing.
yeah, you squint your eyes, you're like, oh, yeah, because that's more realistic. Because everybody
the one
just have
I believe in
back in the days,
with,
everyone had like potato.
The one
quality.
I believe in is the one with multiple perspective, multiple camera angles. Those are the ones that I believe in. Like the one that just like blimp down and then blimp back up and stuff, or the Phoenix light, where there's multiple cameras.
There's a lot.
Those are the one that I believe in.
Yeah, agreed. And then there was one. I don't know if you saw the one with the big pyramid-shaped thing over the Pentagon.
Oh yeah.
Over the
it was spinning. Yeah, it was kind of yeah.
I wish I would have known about that. I was just about to call all my friends because I used to live in a high-rise in Falls Church, Virginia, that literally looked at the Pentagon, and I still have some friends that live there. And I wish I could have if it would have been live, I could have said, "Did you see that too?" You know.
Did you guys see that video of the recent Las Vegas light thing?
No.
In the club.
Oh, yeah.
A bunch of people was in the club and they saw
they all ran out with camcorders.
They all ran out with camera, and there's multiple camera angles of the red light above the building. It's just floating, and it looks really weird and crazy.
It's not light projecting onto a cloud because there's a reflection coming back. So like when the light hit it at a certain angle,
when the club shine their beam light at it, it reflects off of it. So whatever it is, it's solid. Whatever it is, and it's just floating.
It's pretty interesting.
What was do you remember like a name for it or anything? I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
I don't remember a name for it. I know it's in Las Vegas Club UFO
it's
thing,
recent.
but it's pretty recent.
Yeah, my brother lives just south of there.
That's cool.
I don't know if he was out there or not, but he has a good view of Vegas from his neighborhood. So strange sightings. That was a year ago. See, they're probably like they're probably like censoring it. I mean, sort by
allegedly.
So 10. Okay, the skeptic made a good point though.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I see it. UFO or UAP spotted hovering over Sapphire Gentlemen's Club in Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and there's multiple camera angles from different people that's using it.
Yeah, so the skeptics are saying, why is it that the supposed legit recording of Bigfoot UFO is potato quality? Why is that? That's because nobody owns a 4K camera that can just run out there and big lens zoom in.
The problem is sometimes when you see stuff in the sky, it looks close to you, but when you put it, like when you take your phone and actually try to record it, it's just a little dot. Like it happens to me too. And then when you zoom in on your phone, it becomes potato quality when you max out the zoom. It's just what it is.
I mean, that's come on. Let's be real. Not everybody's
a lot of the real footage are like older.
Yeah, those older film stuff. I get it, but I'm talking about like the cell phone.
For the current stuff, yeah, that's just zooming and compression.
I have a Pixel phone here with a good camera, and when I zoom into the max and try to record something in the sky, it's just all blurry and shit.
It's just artificial. It's just digital compression.
Just blurry. It's just blurry, Cypher.
I'm sorry. If like what Fizzin says, like, let's face it, no one pulls out a cam when exactly your first reaction when you see a Bigfoot, poop in your pants. That's it. That's my first reaction. I would literally poop in my pants if I see Bigfoot.
You poop in your pants without seeing Bigfoot, so that's
But they actually have it. They emit subsonic sounds that will make you crap yourself.
That's what it is, Monkey. I'm not like that.
That's a dangerous technology, man. I do not want to crap myself.
I mean,
it's not a fun
I'm really hyped. I'm really hyped this summer. Like me and my brother, we're gonna take a trip to eastern part of the state that we live in, where there's a lot of woods and stuff. We're gonna go to one of those those portal place.
Those vortex.
Yeah, yeah, and those places they have a lot of woods. Like you can like go and just camp, and explore and stuff. I just want to, just for 1 or 2 nights, I just want to hear something in the wood. You know, I just want to bang tree with branches 3 times. I just want to go bang trees.
You want to bang a stick on trees.
Yeah, but I do want to do some science experiment on those vortex though.
Yeah, man, we definitely should go.
Like the one where they say where the ball roll uphill instead of downhill. Like, I want to do some. I want to bring my level.
Yeah.
And I want to bring my
don't
other
use
stuff
theirs. Bring
yours. To see if it's actually an optical illusion or is it actually uphill. You know.
This is very trippy, man. But yeah.
But yes, the hunt for Bigfoot is going to be on. I'm going to record it. Man, be like the Patterson video with all the Bigfoot thing, man. I can't wait. I'm gonna be a legend.
Man, we're gonna go in 4K camera all packed up and everything. We're gonna come in 4K camera and everything.
4K camera.
When we see Bigfoot, it goes to like 480p, it's all pixelated. We freeze. It was like we don't know how to record.
No, that's not what's gonna happen. That's not what's gonna happen. King Mean will point the camera at the Bigfoot, and once the Bigfoot leave, and then we're like, did we get it? King Mean look, it never did record.
It never hit record.
I do that a lot, actually. I do that a lot where I think I'm recording stuff, but then when I push the button, I'm actually recording later. So like whatever passed by, it's already passed by.
So he actually hit pause instead of record. Like,
I do that all the time.
He does that all the time.
There was a model at like one of the cosplay convention that we went to, and she was like doing these flexible bendy thing, and I was like, "Yeah, I got it, guys." And then like came home, didn't get nothing. All I got was people's ass when I was walking like this with the camera.
He was on record the entire time, and then when he saw the moment, he clicked the record button to stop the recording instead.
Yeah.
You know, it happens, man.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling, DC? And like with us, we're pretty open about stuff, so we talk and stuff.
Well, I really enjoy it. That's why I'm happy to be here now. I mean, when the first night I ran across you guys, I think I just pulled up my phone and I don't. Again, it might have been what you're talking about. It might have been what I'm doing. We've had serendipity in like every podcast,
right.
And so I just think that the algorithms, put us together, brought like
nice,
brought us together somehow, I mean, AI, man.
Technology, baby.
Well, here's the thing that I heard recently that's really blown my mind, and this is just my concept of what it is. So there's a gentleman, I'm not going to say his name, but when question was asked, what do you think comes first, AI or the soul? And the guy said, AI come first in this world, in this reality, in this dimension, in 3D dimension. AI come first in 3D dimension. The soul is older, but AI comes first. And I think what he's saying is that because this is a 3D world, 3D construct, like, it's like a video game. Like, I don't know if you guys play No Man's Sky. The best example I can explain is No Man's Sky. So, No Man's Sky, right? When you're out in space, in the game, the Earth, or whatever planet is round. The planet is round, but when you land in it, it becomes a flat surface because that's just how the game works.
Well, it transitioned into a flat plane. So
right. Yeah, so I think what he's saying is true. There's some fact to that because I'm not talking about like the Matrix type where we're in a simulator computer type. I'm talking about like a simulator of like an organic simulator type. Like the AI created the physical world so that the soul can come in, and so the body is actually AI manipulated gene, and the soul comes in, and then the soul is older. It's coming from other dimension, but in order for this dimension to exist, because it's 3D, it has to be printed, and so it's fascinating if you think about it. And then that would explain the whole flat Earth, the whole round Earth, because in reality, it's both.
We don't really say the word out loud.
I mean, flat turd.
Hey, but just not say the F word.
The turd and the round. The turd and the round.
The turd and the round.
So we haven't been taken down by saying those words yet.
It's not those words.
So it's not that.
Word.
It's the other word.
Well, that last podcast, I don't think they took you down.
They did not take it down.
Right?
Yeah.
No, it was.
And we talked about it a lot too. So it's not that.
So yeah, basically ones and zeros. The universe itself is a construct of codes. It's true. Like AI is
like human source code.
Yeah, exactly. And so when he said AI comes first, people were automatically hating on him for that. But he's like, no, you don't get it. I said AI come first, but the soul is older. The soul could be in any dimension it wants to be. Why is the soul only exist in this dimension?
No, it can.
It can be in any dimension.
It can be in any dimension.
I think the reason why the soul come here is to learn. Like it wants to learn. Like like it's already like established itself as a higher being, but then it never experienced what it's like to be a douchebag. And the only way you could be a douchebag is to come back to 3D world, because this is the only plane that you can be that thing.
It's like
I'm pretty sure 4D, 5D, and above, they don't even have that construct of what a DB is. But that's why they need to come back here, because this is the only place where you can be that person. So it's a good lesson.
It's kind of like a forum, and Earth is a, you know how there's different type of forum, and Earth has a forum down here with a specific rule that you can be a douchebag, and the rest of the forum up above, you can't do that, because there's,
you don't even think about it.
You'll get banned or whatever.
Yeah,
right?
It's not even a concept of above. Yeah.
It's a lesson. It's a life lesson.
There's an old UFO guy named John Lear. I don't know. If
what's his name? Sorry, I didn't catch that.
John Lear, Lea.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
His family, his father actually started the Lear Jet Company, the jet plane company back in like the 30s or 40s. But that's what he actually talks about, that how we all come from like a higher dimension. We get put into bodies here to like learn some lesson or to do something, and then after
it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, after this body dies, we go back into like a waiting room, like on a higher plane of existence. They show you your life, and you try to figure out what you've done wrong. But then I guess the only thing he says is, why don't you remember it while you're here? Why don't you know who you really are at that higher level?
Well, because I think if you remember, you won't learn your lesson, because you already have all these. It's like the whole cup. Your cup is full already, right? You gotta empty it in order to learn.
Thing. I think the reason why let's just say you have experienced 1,000 lifetime, and if you remember all those 1,000 lifetime, of course you're gonna get better and better every time, right? But
you're also gonna be bored.
The problem is if you remember, for example, let's say Eisen in one lifetime. And would you want to remember you sucking?
No, let's not go.
Gingerbread.
Would you want to remember that?
Hold on, let me explain. So, like, in the upper,
you don't want to remember that.
In the upper dimensions, let's say in the upper dimension, let's say you're no longer.
It's all over. It's done.
Let's say you're no longer a soul living in a 3D plane. You're in the upper dimension, right?
Yeah.
But when you're up there, that's when you remember all your lifetimes. But when you go back to this dimension, that's when you forget. Because I think the reason why is that when you're in this dimension, if you remember all that, you're gonna drive you insane. Yeah, they have to reset it.
It has to reset, because having 1,000 years or so of lifetime memories in your head is probably gonna drive you crazy.
It's gonna drive you insane.
It's a limitation.
As a human, not because as a soul, as a soul at a higher dimension, that's fine. But as a human in a third dimension, that will probably drive you crazy.
Yeah, because once you're in the human form, mentally, you're just gonna get screwed up.
Well, they say a lot of people believe, like a lot of kids especially, do remember past lives and stuff. Like there's
they remember like probably at least like snippets of past lives here and there.
I mean, I had like a dream about like a past life that was so realistic it was like hard to forget. I had it like when I was 14 years old, and maybe I watched too many war movies or whatever. But basically, I was like a villager in Vietnam, and I was being chased down by the U.S. military. And I guess I was trying to defend my village or my family or whatever, and they ended up killing me. But instead of my life,
I heard of those stories where people have like
life flash before my eyes, and I saw my wife and my child in Vietnam and everything. And then later on, a couple years later, when I bought my first gun, my first rifle, it was the same. It was a similar model to what they used during Vietnam, and I knew how to use that rifle, like
there
perfectly.
You go.
The first time I ever touched it, I knew how to operate it and take it apart and everything.
Well, there are stories of where people like remembering their past life, and then they do research of if that person actually exists, and they do exist. That's the crazy part. It's like, because it's not something that they made up, because that person actually exists, and after they do the research of it.
I think it's a good limitation to set, because if you remember everything, then you're gonna come here and you're gonna shoot fireballs and you're gonna do all these amazing things that other soul can't do, right? That's not fair to the other soul. So,
but if everybody
you can't shoot Kamehameha at people, man.
But if everybody have memories, then everybody can do it.
Exactly, but the thing is, you won't learn anything, because then you're all OP. You're all master race already, so you're not starting from the bottom.
Don't say that, dude. Come on.
No. It's also what Fizzin said. Memory or experience and memories are not the same thing. They're not linked.
the soul will always remember. That's the thing that everybody always agree on. The soul remember. That's why there's the concept of old soul and young soul. Like young soul, they're just here to twerk or whatever.
They haven't experienced it yet, and they obviously don't.
They're here to twerk.
I don't know what young soul do, man. I just know young people twerk, so I'm just trying to put the comparison
there are people that are young, but they act like they're more wise, like older people.
Right.
And then there are people that's super old, but they're more like childish and younger, or
like
think like a younger person. So,
hey, man, my soul is my soul.
At least you still have one, unlike your Buck over there.
Yeah, so Dagger actually asked a legit question, like, well, so what's the end game of the soul when you accomplish everything that you need to learn? And then Fizzin said it's an experience. The goal is to return to Source. We are a firmware update. Source is God. We bring back experience to him. You don't need memories. Yeah, see how the ones
I
with
think
400.
I think it's just all a wavelength thing. It's all about wavelength. And you have to exist on certain wavelengths to a point to where your soul is able to like go to a higher vibration.
Yes.
Vibrations. So but there's like many different levels above that. So eventually our souls will move up to the next one above us now, and then we'll have to do stuff there to get to the next one up, and just keep going. So reach that source, but I think that source is still probably pretty far off.
Oh yeah, for sure. Here's my definition: young souls are born 20 times, old souls are born 400 times. Yeah, it's just the experience. It's the experience of, like you work for 20 years versus you work for 400 years. Like, it's the experience that come with it. Like, by the time you're in your 400 years of working, you're like, oh man, this is lame. I want to do something else. So then, hopefully, I don't know how the other side worked, but hopefully the soul gets to determine what event it wants to experience versus, oh, you just go and just experience this. I point you, you go and do. I hope that's not the case, because that sucks. I want my soul to be able to pick the experience that I want to experience, because otherwise, man, forcing, that's job labor. I don't like that. So when Source learns everything it needs to learn, where does it goes from there? I don't know. Evolve into another dimension, I guess. Keep on evolving.
And they say those next higher levels are similar to like our reality now, but it's just a different reality.
Right.
Like a different paradigm.
Right.
And then you
see, man, that's crazy. If you really think about it, if there's universe, galaxy, and all that stuff, multi-dimension, interdimension, space and time, and then every planet has like a hollow Earth, like an inner Earth, and then that's like add more stuff to it. It's unlimited, man. The possibility is insanity, and like
somewhere out there's 6 guys on the channel talking about the same thing.
Exactly. Except for I'm probably a hot chick, though. You don't know that.
You're probably not.
No, at least my other self is possibly a hot chick. I'm just gonna go with it. And I'm gonna make lots of money on YouTube.
Okay.
That other side of me make lots of money on YouTube.
Kingy, how long have I known you? 20 years, right?
Right.
If you were a hot chick, you would not be the 6th box. You would be off in your bedroom doing stuff you should be doing. That's what you'd be doing.
No, Monkey is stupid. He got the concept wrong. You're thinking the concept of this world. You're thinking the concept of this world. I'm talking about the concept of the other world.
Your soul.
It doesn't matter. My soul is split into like a gajillion whatever, right? This is just a fraction of. Maybe that's why this soul is not very wise, because this is like a tiny fraction of it. But most of the other fraction of it is with the hot chick on the other side that's making lots of money on YouTube just by flashing.
If you think about it, there are souls that are very similar to each other. That's why sometimes when you hang out with a certain person, sometimes you just click with them, right? Just like with DC and King Min, right? Because you guys have some very, I don't know how to explain it, but like sometimes you have moments that just clicks, right?
There's the theory. Have you guys heard of like you all have heard of soulmates, right?
Yeah.
Well, there's another theory as well about the twin flame.
Twin flame, boom, twin flame.
Yeah. So like twin flame it's basically the same kind of connection as a soulmate, but with like
it was way better. It's deeper.
No
deeper.
Sexual component.
No, it's just deeper. It's like soul buddies.
Like a cloud, like a network almost. And I think somebody touched on it a little bit earlier. Like going to a higher place, like where knowledge is shared and everything.
Right.
These researchers did like a thing out on an island out in the Pacific where they taught a monkey how to use like a tool on one island, and then all the monkeys on all the islands knew how to use that tool. You know, they were connected through the universe somehow. You know,
that's what I'm saying.
Like different species, you know, and so on and so forth. But it probably happens even at the individual level. People who mentally operate on the same wavelength can sort of tap into those same ideas, you know. Because I've done it with every one of you, you know, probably at some point listening to you guys, you know, especially with those TV shows we talked about, the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Like that crazy Nights of Darkness movie, that Tim Burton movie, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you guys mentioned that. That's like an obscure like horror movie from like
Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness. Yeah.
To listen to you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's when we were talking about quantum mechanics and like, it's.
And I didn't think about that movie until like a couple days before you guys mentioned it on that podcast. So I downloaded it, was watching it, you know, and I was like, wow.
You can't explain stuff like that. That's not. I don't think that's a coincidence. Like, okay, maybe one or two coincidence, sure, but like when stuff keeps on like being that way, it's a vibration, man. It's that whole synchronicity thing that comes to.
And now I'm on here live.
Yeah, when it becomes consistent, then you know for sure you click. Your souls, and all your guys' experience, it clicks together. Like, yeah, you're like me, you know.
Yeah,
we're on the same wavelength.
It's interesting, and I don't know. I just want to thank. First of all, I want to thank DC for being here. And sorry, supposedly I was gonna ask you to introduce yourself and all that, and let people on the internet know who you are, but I totally forgot about that. So I'm just letting you have the space now to introduce yourself, like now.
I mean, I'm
sorry about that.
Yeah, that's how, I wish I would have thought about that earlier.
I forgot, man.
Things just happen.
I was too hyped, and I was too hyped going 100 miles per hour.
No, I guess I'm just a person who's always been interested in these type of topics and stuff. And ever since I can remember back to like 4 years old, you know, like my first book was astrophysics.
Nice.
It had a lot of pictures though, so it was good.
Pictures are cool.
I taught myself how to read so I could read that book, and I still remember it. But then just I just grew up and just was always into science. I started coding and programming when I was like 6 years old.
Nice.
And had my first all-nighter when I was 7. And then that led into my life. You know, I got into computers, programming, worked for the government, different organizations, agencies, you know, in DC, and you know, that's not why I'm DC. That's just my name. But no, man, I really don't know what to say. I mean, it's just a lot of these topics just fascinate me. And that's why I guess that's what brought us all together. You know.
Yeah.
I'll think of a better one maybe for the next.
Sure.
time.
Yeah. No worries. It was kind of putting you on the spot, but you know, I just want people to know who you are and your channel. You can even promote your channel here. It's fine by me. I don't.
Yeah, it's just at DC Entropy. I haven't done any here in a couple of weeks. I've just been really busy with work and stuff, and then it's getting cold out here in my garage where I podcast from. So, because I can't smoke, you know, in the house. But yeah, I plan on starting to do more and getting a little more formatted. Like maybe the next time I come on, maybe I'll have that set up and it'll be a lot higher quality. I'm probably bouncing around out here and shaky in my garage. So
that's like cool.
30
it's
degrees.
Been pretty good.
Here, so
yeah. I think the reason why,
man, I mean, I really enjoyed coming on. Didn't think it would ever happen because the times didn't, you know, work out. But
well, what sucks too is like our schedule is always something comes up, like you know, no electricity or this person is sick, that person is sick, so. It's hard to get all 5 of us, even just the 5 of us together, let alone a 6th person. So, you know, I appreciate you coming in when you can.
I'm usually pretty much at night. I just forgot about the time zone difference too. So.
Yeah, it's fine. No, we're just a bunch of guys who just talk. I don't know. I talk and just talk. I just like to hear myself talk, I guess.
You like to hear yourself talk.
So, I just want to share.
Well,
I just want to share what's in my brain. You know, sometimes I can't express that to the people that I'm close or the people that I'm
because they wouldn't even they would just walk away. So
they would just walk away, and when you bottle it inside of you, it's not healthy. So you got to express it. And this is a good way for me to express myself. just this is who I am, and if you don't like me for this, that's cool. I'm cool with that. But yeah, I just want people to know. And I wouldn't have met these guys. I wouldn't have met you if we didn't, talk about it and have a platform about it. So it's cool. And that's all I got to say is, like, don't be afraid to speak your mind. Like, as long as you're not harming anybody, it's okay to express yourself.
Or spreading any certain kind of
disinformation. Right. Don't be that guy.
Yeah,
I hate that.
And then the weird part is too is like I was sort of looking to find a forum like this to talk to people about. I mean, I have plenty of people to talk to about this. I go out to my local pub, and I have a group of friends who are really into these topics and stuff, and they'll bring me new things, and I'll tell them new things, and they're just normal folks, but they're even though they're just average folk, that would never be watching YouTube or anything like this, they still find these topics fascinating. I talked to a doctor like the other day I found that was into all this, but
that's interesting.
That's very interesting.
So that's why I'm again glad I found you guys, because on my podcast it's just me, and I tried to have some other people on, but it just the formatting didn't work, and so we just sort of put that aside. It's just back to me again. So I'm glad to be able to come on here and be able to openly speak about it. So
yeah, and if you want, I don't know, just for me, I can't personally speak about the other guys, but if you ever want to have a podcast on your channel and you want to talk with just me, I'm cool with that too. Just set a time.
Yeah, whoever
I'll
wants
be there.
to come on, I like this offer you guys.
Heck yeah.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I'm just in my Safari browser on my iPhone working.
It's just an invite link and anybody can just jump in. So
yeah,
really awesome. So I'll probably start using this myself.
Yep. See, there's another thing. See, we're sharing not only common interest and goal, but we're sharing tech with each other. Isn't that awesome? See, the universe wanted you to succeed in life, so the universe said, "Hey, go find those people. They're cool."
Although you want to get rid of that dumb watermark right next to Fizz's head, though, you got to pay extra money to get rid of
get rid of the duck.
You want to get rid of that duck.
It's fine. I kind of like the duck.
Setup is free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but everything else is
maybe
free.
I'd run it through OBS and knock that section out or something.
There you go.
You can use OBS and just use the overlay system on that.
Yeah.
I
you can do that
OBS
too.
now,
It's just that I don't want to use OBS right now because this is much more simpler to just. And we didn't care. We had the duck removed once, like we paid, but then we didn't feel like it's worth it to pay just to remove that duck. So yeah.
Well, nobody ever watched our show anyways. Yeah. That's the problem. Dagger said, I like what Dagger comment at 11:10, so I got to read that. No, man, 11:10 first.
What?
Probably the hottest chick.
No. Are we going back to your chick version?
My chick is hot. Anyways, Dagger.
I've seen him in a blonde and big. It's not hot. Trust me.
You are doo-doo head because you keep thinking of this reality, bro. Fizzin, Dagger 11:18. Read 11:18 real quick. If I mention UFOs, pyramid, Anunnaki to my friends, the subject changed real quick. That sucks, man. That's brutal. Well, you can always mention any of that to us. Like I'm all for that. Elenine, I remember it was a big thing. Like I don't know if you guys remember Elenine comment. ELENIN.
Extinction level event.
Extinction level event.
Yeah.
It came by not too long ago, right after 2012, I think, or around that time, and it was supposed to be a big thing, like the movie Deep
Impact.
Deep Impact. Yeah. It talks about that comet in that movie, and when that comet flew by us and they name it that, I was like, oh, this is it. This is the one. Yeah. Sadly, it wasn't the one.
Yeah, they thought it was like a woman like that he was having an affair with.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, that was a good movie. That came out right around the same time as Armageddon.
It did. Yep. It did. Armageddon was the more popular summer movie. Yeah.
Well, I'm big into movies too, like sci-fi. So that's. I appreciate you guys' channel for that too. So.
Oh, dude, we're all about sci-fi.
Look at King Mean movies back there. Every time
most of those are sci-fi. Most of those are.
And that's just a portion of it.
Right here
this is one
Star
wall.
Trek. This whole thing right here is the Star Trek on like all different format, like Blu-ray, 4K, or whatever. I gotta have Star Trek. Yeah, dude, man. It's weird because like
we should do a viewing party.
The first,
A viewing party all the movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
the first one, everybody always say it's so slow and it's boring. I actually like it. Like, I love the whole plot twist at the end that it's the satellite thing. I forgot the name of it.
Whoa, spoiler
Vector?
alert, bro.
Yeah, no, I love it. I'm freaking.
A lot of people don't like the science aspect, you know, them
Yeah,
solving
but
stuff
it's,
scientifically and the tachyons and all that
but
stuff.
it's interesting, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for some of us.
that's the thing that I like. I like Star Wars for the kung fu element of it, like the action, the lightsaber.
Kung Fu.
Well, basically that's what it is. It's a sci-fi kung fu. So I like that and the philosophy of it. And then I like Star Trek because of the tech of it. Star Trek to me is more of where we could be heading if we weren't, held back by a certain group. We would have already been up there, and we would have been chilling with our Andromeda alien buddy over here.
According to the secret space program, we already are up there doing all those.
Oh,
things.
someone is. Yeah, it's just not us.
Yeah.
We're too not so good. According to them.
Or two not so good.
There was a good old man. He was probably bored back. He actually had direct memory of the Battle of Los Angeles, the original.
Yeah.
It's a guy named William H. Tompkins. Look up some of his interviews because he talked about how he was brought on board to actually help design the aircraft carrier size craft or whatever that we have flying around out in space already. So he did that back in the 50s and 60s.
That's that's what I'm saying. If they have I was watching it, I was watching a documentary about in the 70s or 60s, and they were working on these miniature dragonfly
Drone.
what is it? Drones.
Yeah,
and if they have that technology back then, man, can you imagine what they have now? And that was way in the 60s and 70s, and
yeah, it used to be the government was 10 years ahead or whatever. Now it's 100.
nah, it's definitely. I agree, 100%.
Or more.
Because it sucks
they
because
say the fiber optics came from Roswell. What we're using now, fiber optics, that all came from the Roswell crash. So
1947.
yeah,
That's the year it all started, man.
yeah.
I wish I was that. I wish I was the rancher who found that thing, man. I would have.
Max Brazel.
Oh man, is any of his relatives still alive? It sucks. All the original OG is not with us anymore. It's
I think they still own the ranch, man.
Oh really? Damn.
I think they've had to fence it off to keep UFO people from coming in and everything. But I think they still own it.
The thing that's crazy about Roswell, why it triggers so many events, is because they came out and said it's a flying saucer crash.
And then a couple of days
And
later,
then
they changed
weather
the
balloon.
They try to
subject.
Really?
change the
Come on,
subject,
man.
It's like a cover. It's like a clear cover up. So yeah.
It's I get it. Yes, weather balloon is a thing. I get that. And again, it's like with the swamp gas. I get it, but if a UFO is in a desert, there's no swamp there, so you can't use swamp gas. So it's that. It bothers me.
Yeah, I met this old guy that worked at Wright-Patterson back when the Roswell happened. And he was a guard, and he remembers how the base went on lockdown. That when they brought it supposedly into Hangar 18 or whatever. He remembers.
I love that place.
He remembers how locked down that was, and complete solid lockdown.
So why would they lock down a weather balloon?
Exactly.
Cause reasons, man. Reasons. Reasons. Nah, it's interesting. I think if it's an interesting time.
Yeah, I'd make a topic suggestion for the future. If you have you heard of Project Serpo? The Serpo.
I've never
project?
Actually heard of it.
That's a new one to me.
Yeah, that's a
I've
good
never heard
one.
of
And it was recently sort of brought back up again for I forget why, but it might have been something to do with an anniversary of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Because if you remember in that movie, there was a bunch of government guys who were all suited up and ready to go on to the alien spaceship, and that's what Project Serpo is about. It was a UFO human exchange program that lasted 13 years, where we sent a whole military crew to this other planet, which is Planet Serpo. And it's backed up. It's backed up with some big people, man.
Oh, we need to talk about that. That sounds interesting.
I have not know anything about that, so yeah.
So
Dagger's asking, why are they suddenly acknowledging a UFO presence?
I can answer this.
Here's the thing: they're getting ready. They're getting ready to play the alien card.
The alien
They've
card.
been
What was
holding
that lady? What was that
They've been
lady with
holding
the
that
white
alien
hair?
card for a long time.
Yeah.
Linda Moulton Howe.
Yes, thank you. So was it? She said the asteroid and then the alien card, or the alien card then the asteroid. I always don't remember which one was the last one, but yeah, the alien card. They need to
The
pull
thing
that. That's
about the
why.
alien card is that the government cannot play that because once you pull that card and play that card, there's no turning back.
It's no turning back.
You can't go back to the way things are because once the public know that alien exists and is
Well-
I think everybody believes it already.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Most people.
okay. Look. We can't have war, right, in our planet because there's so many destruction already. We destroyed this place, we destroyed that place. More profit is in space. You go to space, that's limited area for you to just have war everywhere. Imagine the money that the people, those little grubby people, can get their hands on. That's why they want to do this, because
It's like
not necessarily.
That movie, Don't Look Up.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the
Exactly.
guy
It's not
says,
necessarily
we're gonna mine
us.
the asteroid instead. We're not going to blow it up. We're going to go mine it.
It's not necessarily us versus alien. It's an agenda of just whatever they call alien at the time, just so we can go war with it, so they can make money by
Yeah, but then there's also that theory, that conspiracy theory of the government may not. They create the alien war because they have the technology already, so they can the Project Bluebeam thing and whatever, right?
Yeah, like actually make it sort of holographic or like.
Yeah, so they make it basically a false alien war. Basically, that's what the theory is.
Just something to razzle dazzle the audience, because right now it's kind of boring, So
Well,
they need to up their
when,
game.
When things get too crazy, when things get too crazy to the point where they can no longer control the public, they just gotta go all
Make
at it.
more crazier.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Bring
the Las Vegas sighting, I watched that a little bit. It sort of reminded me of some of the sightings over the Ukraine right now, where the war is going on. They look very bad. So I don't know. Something's probably getting ready to pop off here the next.
I'm waiting, dude. Like, I don't like the term like fear monger or whatever. When people say that to me, I don't like that. Like, I'm not a negative guy. I'm actually a pretty positive guy. I just want something to happen, because the way things are right now is so boring. I'm sorry, 825. God, just get me out of here. Do something. Like, I don't know, man. I just want to go on a Starfleet and just be like Spock and just like do cool hand signal thing.
Yeah, but you gotta have logic to be Spock, bro.
Well, in this universe, my Spock don't need the logic. See, it's the complete opposite. What's the opposite of logic?
Illogical.
Exactly, and I'm that guy. I want to be that guy in space.
Yeah, it would be fun. But maybe that's where all the people disappearing are going. Maybe they're abducting them to take them to bases and planets and put them on ships and stuff.
It wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me.
Because what is it, like 800,000 people a year go missing?
Yeah,
it's insane. The
Without a
statistic
trace.
is crazy.
And
that's why that was it. The missing 411 is always interesting watch for me. They put out like so many of those now. I don't remember.
Because David Polito's in that show even got into that angle, about aliens too, because he was an alien guy. He worked for MUFON. I'll try to post a video in Discord where it was when he was still at MUFON, but getting ready to go more onto the missing 411 side. It was before the missing 411, but it was just he sort of combined Bigfoot and UFO, because he was a big part of MUFON, the MUFON organization.
Right.
So, yeah.
Was it the alien?
okay.
Yeah, they do. They do. Dagger said, does a what? Extraterrestrial
presence debunk the flat Earth theory? Or
not necessarily.
No,
not necessarily.
It doesn't debunk it. It does not debunk it.
It doesn't debunk it. The way I see it, if you're gonna go with the flat Earth, the way I see it is, it's kind of hard to explain. The only way is I could draw a picture, but in any case, there's layers. If you're gonna go with the whole fabric layer thing, which I don't know, it's just big. Flat
here's the
around,
thing: extraterrestrial can be it can also be interdimensional as well. So it could be from a different dimension. It could be from inner Earth. It could be any.
What's crazy is it could also be inner dimension from a different timeline as well. If you think about that, that's really crazy, because It's an interdimension being from the past or from the future, not of the present. Isn't that crazy? Doesn't that blow your mind? Come on, people.
Well, then even deeper down is like like intelligent civilizations like across the galaxy, for example. Let's just keep it within the Milky Way.
Yes.
The evolution of life on any given planet didn't happen at the same time. So there's probably dead ancient civilizations all over our galaxy that came and went, over time. So, they most likely would have had to travel through time just to get to where we are now to even interact with us.
Right.
It's hard to explain. It's just like if they didn't have time technology, they would have to be just the ones that were lucky enough to be alive in the same little sliver of time that we are now, that we're intelligent enough to communicate with them and so on. And the chances of that happening is just like astronomical, no pun intended. So
yeah, you guys need to watch a movie called Event Horizon if you haven't watched that movie.
I just watched that a week ago.
No!
Look at that! Look at that!
No way! What
Look
the
at that,
heck?
That's a good one, man.
Oh,
yeah, you watch yourself.
That's
that right there, man. Same frequency.
Yeah,
that's just insane because
my plex, man.
That is such a movie nobody barely talks about. It's insane. Monkey, you know anything about that movie at all?
Oh yeah.
It's a really interesting thing. It's like you go through the black hole, but then you end up in like hell dimension or whatever you want to call it, and then you come back. It's crazy. When I watched that when I was a kid, man, my mind was just like, oh.
Did you make the connection between the cockpit in that ship and the Matrix cockpit?
Yeah. There's also
at the helm.
yeah.
On both.
Yeah, and I didn't even know this, but there's a lot of similarity with that movie and Hellraiser as well. Like the possessed wife. She said, the possessed wife said almost the same exact line. There's sight for you to see or whatever. I forgot the exact quote that Pinhead say, but it's almost like exact, and it's like
you don't need eyes to see or something.
Yeah. It's insane. But that's crazy though, because I just pulled that movie out of my butt.
Her eyes were out.
Yeah. See, how does that happen, Monkey? You can't just pull a random movie that's like super obscure and then like, oh, I just saw it a week ago. You can't. That's not.
I saw that in the theater back in the day. That was a great one.
A lot of people don't know that, but it's a Paul Anderson movie. It's a Paul W.S. Anderson movie. The same guy who made Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm not one of the directors.
Yep. A lot of people didn't know that. That was like one of his first big budget movie. Like, it wasn't even that big budget, but he did pretty good because he used miniature instead of CGI. So it's still, even when you watch it nowadays, it still looks good on like the big flat screen.
Oh yeah,
well, that's a good movie.
Overall, I mean, like you said, they probably used the same ship set that was used in Matrix. So, I forget which one came first. I want to say Event Horizon did.
Event Horizon came first.
Yeah, Event Horizon.
It's an older movie. The thing about that movie, I talk about the singular point where you bend space and time. You don't have to travel long because you're folding it, so you're literally just poking a hole through it.
You're making a shortcut.
Instead of the long way.
That's the same concept of the movie Dune. With the guild, the spacing guild. They all fly up into a big giant, spacing guild ship, and then they fold time. So,
and like in Aliens, though, it's a different concept because Alien, they put you in the sleep, the deep sleep, and the AI ship just go by itself.
To you, it just feels like a night, or
but the ship is like flowing through. So there's all these possibility of space traveling. It's interesting, and then not even talking about the freaking Stargate where you can just walk through and then go somewhere else. It's insane, man.
Well, that's based on government documents too. There was actually a Project Stargate.
That's the thing. See, Monkey, I'm telling you, the world is not boring, man. It's awesome.
I don't think it is boring. I don't know why you're coming at me with that.
I'm just
King Mean earlier was like, right now it's so boring, man. I want something interesting to happen. I was like, okay.
And then a couple minutes later,
and then I was like, life is not boring. It was like,
what? Classic King Mean contradiction.
It's interesting because in ancient India, they have those full-time
tech
used by monks. Yeah. Oh
And the thing
yeah,
that's-
I heard about that. It's called. It's like there's a word for it, but let's see if I can translate it. It's the translation is compressing land, basically. That's the translation, but the word is something
Fizzin
else.
must have typed it or something.
where they full distance, they
Full
appear in the
distance.
country. Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea is that they compress land, so they take one step, but they're actually in another country.
Within the one
just
step, they're
within
in
that
another
one
country,
step.
right? That's more of a spiritual thing, and I think because that still works, because if we're talking about spiritual vibrational field, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that if you can.
What was
I don't
it,
know how
the-
to do that,
what
but
was
if
it, the
you
Aikens or whatever that had like a doorway down like near Lake Titicaca that supposedly they use that technology and that's
That's
how
a
they
funny
travel.
lake name.
I love that song.
Yeah. but they supposedly use that technology because they actually have a doorway that's not a door. It's just a flat wall, but with a door carved into it.
Right.
And they say they probably use that technology, and that's how the ancients used to travel across continents, across the world.
Yeah,
Right.
like
With
wormholes,
like
just create
folding land,
shortcuts.
you know.
Yeah, and we have an airplane, and we think we're so cool and high and advanced. Come on, guys. But the thing that's the thing that make me sad
Yeah.
is like
Not physically. Yeah.
we
It's
have all
space-time.
these. Is it everyone's?
It's like space-time portals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. No, we have all this technology. We could use it to benefit mankind, but we don't do that because we're so about the money and the control system. It's hard for anybody to come out.
Humanity right now is all greedy and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Just
Like,
putting out
people
any sort
always-
of crazy technology, it's like
People
it
always
can
want-
cause chaos.
right. People always want world peace, right? It's not that hard to solve
they
world
don't.
peace.
No,
Well,
they
they're-
don't. They don't want world peace.
Okay. Nor,
World peace could have been achieved decades ago, but they don't.
Right.
They don't want that.
but my point is, why do you have these advocate people that go out there and promote like this and this for this group and this group? Like, to me, like, I get where they're coming at. Like, I understand the whole Go Green movement. I understand saving the planet. I totally get that. But if you really want the whole issue to be resolved, you're not going to be able to solve it by just coming up with new policy. You know what I'm saying?
Well-
Because policy is just more money that can be made by other folks. So, I don't know. It's kind of hard to
It's a waste
debate
of time.
on that.
It's a waste of time to like go out and argue about like saving the planet or climate issues or whatever. But if you really want to save the planet, you create a technology that can save the planet. So you
No, you can't
ins-
because you can't patent it. It's
It
illegal.
gets suppressed.
yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. So you really can't do nothing about it.
That's what I'm saying. So is it worth it to go out
And
there and protest?
to even
It's-
make a new sort of technology, you have to go through all these different steps and processes, and then you have other outsiders to validate that too. And,
Right.
in order for you to even be allowed to sell that type of technology,
All the peer reviews and everything
Yeah.
and all that
You gotta
stuff.
have all
There's
that,
actually
yeah.
it's during that review
So-
process they can just say no,
So
you're
my,
not
my
doing
point
this.
is that the whole thing is pointless. Then that's,
It's
that's,
like
what, I'm
Yeah.
trying, that's what I'm trying
I
to
mean,
get.
how
at.
much money? Basically, like Monkey said, follow the money. How much money does the whole green go green thing makes for certain individuals, certain groups? Like,
like selling the carbon credits.
right. We don't see any of that money. Like, if anything, they cut tax more from us for other things. That's not necessary.
Well, there's a good book, a sci-fi book. I forget the name of it, but the author is a guy named Daniel Suarez, and it's basically about a secret government or like agency that whenever a new technology that's like groundbreaking comes out, like fusion or cold fusion or whatever, the government agency swoops in and they take it and they literally they actually in the book they literally kill the scientists, quote unquote, but they take them away, and then that person can choose whether to work for that agency and to keep developing the technology for them, or they just wipe them off the face of the earth. So, but
Yeah.
but the agency, the head of this agency, made a good point at the end of the book that, like, for example, if we came out with free energy, which we have, the science ability to do that, it would completely disrupt the economy of the planet. Like,
But do you need?
all cars
But do
would
you
become
need economy
obsolete.
though?
Like millions of people would be out of like petroleum-based jobs. Like Sweden, who depends heavily upon their oil, the North Sea
We
oil.
would just have to
they
create a
would
new
collapse.
world then.
No, here's my
Think
thing
about-
though.
Collapse, so it
No.
has to be done at a gradual pace. That's the
Well,
point
that's-
of the story.
My argument is, I'm a lazy guy, right? Let's just focus on me because it's all about me here. I'm a lazy guy and I don't want to go to work, but I still want to live the way I live and be comfortable the way I live. If everything is free energy, I don't have to pay for this. So therefore, I don't have to go to work. And if I want to feed myself, then I better learn how to farm. I better learn how to, have livestock and stuff and just, go back to the basic. And if I don't know, there's got to be a system somehow for like someone like me to, like, I can feed off whatever. I can eat grass. It's fine.
But then if people,
But to implement free energy as such a big change that is going to screw up. Obviously, it's going to destroy the economy.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
It's
But
gonna
no,
mess
no,
everything
that's
up.
fine. That's fine. But how did we go from nothing to electrical grid? It's the same concept. If they can do
Yeah.
it back then, they can do it now
Well,
too.
Because back then it was
Just
small
do that.
steps. It was small steps, right?
It doesn't matter. Just do that then.
Well,
yeah, well, they are now with the fusion and all that stuff coming out. They're finally talking about that. So
Yeah, but it's too late. I'll be dead by then. I want the free energy now.
That's the thing. It's too soon to implement it in your
I'm
time in your
selfish.
lifetime.
Okay, I'm
man.
selfish.
It's too soon to implement it in your lifetime. This
What-
could take
what
like
I-
100 years, man.
What
Or
I
longer than
really
that.
liked about your argument right there, King Mean, was you start off with how lazy you are, but then you're like, I could be a farmer. Dude,
No.
farmers work
No.
so hard.
You don't understand.
That's true.
Farmer works hard because they're working to feed other people. But if you're working to feed just yourself, it's not that hard. I've done
yes,
that.
it is, man. It's still hard.
I've
It's so
done that.
hard, bro.
Bro, where I come from, my brother,
Let's
he
see
was
how long
like-
it takes you to grow a hamburger, dude.
you don't need to eat hamburger. You can eat other stuff like, go to a pond with a fish or something. Go live over there. It's fine. It's a
What
free
happens when
world,
you
free
run out of
energy.
fish?
What's that?
What happens when you run out of fish?
You eat other stuff. You maggots,
You eat mac.
cockroach,
Chupacabra.
worms. There's other supplement out there. You never watch Survival Man? Man, just
Bigfoot's
pick stuff
pretty
out and
high in
eat.
Protein, probably.
Bro,
Like here in my county, man, they got these like big like warehouses. It's like 15 or 20, 30 acres, some of them, that grow hydroponic like lettuce and strawberries. It's a big company called App Harvest. But they're
Never heard
literally
of them.
growing it with like rainwater. It's all like reclaimed water, no dirt, nothing like that, and it's all done in like a big giant greenhouse that just
Yeah.
has light going all night. You can see it from like miles away.
They better watch out, or the big M's going to come after them. But we don't talk about that.
we don't talk about that.
Well, I think they're already $1 billion company. They just went public on the stock market. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
We need more of that because, man, don't even get me going on the big M word.
The GMO.
Remember that guy at work,
GMO
Monkey?
crap. Oh yeah,
I don't like
get
that.
it done.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, man.
Every time I hear that story, I just laugh.
So, we went to lunch, and me and Monkey and one other person, we just have a casual talk. We're like, because we work with customs, and so we do documents and stuff. And I'm like, I do not like the GMO stuff, right? And like, the dude beside us is just like, what's wrong with that? If it benefits humanity, what's wrong with that? I'm like, it's not healthy for you. You're gonna end up going. Let's say
It's
natural food is
unnatural.
healthy, and then unnatural food is not healthy. Let's just go with that concept. You're gonna have your body is gonna be like shutting down more. You're gonna have to go see the doctor more. You're gonna lose more money. When you have kids, it's gonna affect your kid, and your kid's gonna affect their kid. And then like,
see, too many people think of GMO as like like a good thing. I don't like the G part of it.
no, exactly,
Genetic.
it's genetic.
Genetic.
Yeah.
But all through time, all the way back to like 10,000 years ago in Sumeria, they were what do they call it, like coming up with the better breeds, like for wheat and things like that. Like they call it ancient grains. You can still get some of this stuff, like the bread at the store, like at Whole Foods or whatever. And the weird thing is, our body digests, like all of humanity, we're more able to digest those ancient ones than we are ones that they're growing today, like the
Right.
the GMO stuff.
That cause all the
It's not
gluten
natural.
intolerance and all that. Yeah, exactly. Like you.
It doesn't
really
gluten make
think-
your butt big?
No, dude.
Is that why all these next generation kids have big booty?
No, that's
No.
because
That's
they're
pretty hot.
lazy and they don't do anything. That's why.
It's
But-
just fat,
no-
man.
So if they were to get free energy, they would just die then. They wouldn't know how to eat worms and stuff.
Hey, I mean, the government gave us all a few $1,000s for free, and look what that did to our country just with those. those few stimulus.
I don't even remember what I used those money for. Something
You
so
bought
wasteful.
PS5s. with yours. You bought 2 PS5s.
Wow.
But no, the fact that people okay, so
Call
the
me out,
government
bro.
says it's okay. Hey, you asked. You said I didn't call you out. You said you didn't remember. So I was just helping jog your memory.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
These people that think you really think that it's not gonna. First of all, the science isn't even out there to prove what eating GMO stuff does to your body.
Exactly.
But like you're telling me that meat grown in a petri dish, you think that's okay to ingest when there's no facts about how any of this interacts with our bodies.
Because if you think about it, a lot of living like beings, like animals and us and stuff, we are designed to eat things that are organic, that's naturally produced here, right? For us to grab something that's from the ground, like let's say, like I don't know, a carrot or something, and then we modify that in a lab, change the DNA sequencing, make it twice as big, and now we have a carrot that's like this size, and we're just selling it in batches to like all different countries. How is that a good thing?
Well,
Because now you're modifying something and it's no longer natural.
Yeah, but I get
ability.
the argument though, because if you have bigger carrots, you're gonna have more.
You're feeding more people.
You're feeding more people. So I get the argument there. I totally
get that, but it's also, it doesn't mean that carrot might be worse, not even healthy for you anymore.
Their agenda is to cut down the population anyway. So.
Straight up.
Well, see, there's natural ways to make a bigger carrot, but they don't want to do that. They want to do it artificially and through genetic modification. That's the bad part. So, but they could do it just by fertilizing it, a longer growth cycle. But even that, then it eventually starts deteriorating. It's not as good. The bigger it gets, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
It's not as nutritious.
And then they'll find a way to modify it where it has a longer expiration date. It doesn't mold as fast as your typical organic carrot,
Right.
I don't know.
But then doing that is like it's heavily processed.
And then you have Bill Gates just buying all these farmlands all over the place and just kicking like real farmers out.
Farmers out,
yeah.
Yeah, he has this agenda, man. And it's coming. It's still coming. But,
Yeah, he was promoting. He was like last week or 2 weeks ago. He was promoting fake meat. Like he said, fake meat is gonna be good, better than the real meat. Real meat. It's like
we can solve world hunger by making everything in a lab.
He's already promoting.
Okay, hold on. Because now you're kind of like playing as God at that point.
I just want him to eat
the natural
whatever he's selling. I want him to eat in public, and I want him to take a bite of what he's eating, and then I'll take a bite after. We can meet in the middle. So let's just do that.
You're gonna Lady in the Tramp.
I'm gonna Lady in the Tramp with Bill Gates. That's the only way he can convince me to eat his food.
Yeah, it's like the whole glyphosate thing when they went to the guy at Monsanto. And he said, it's safe. You can drink it. And so they brought a glass into him, and he wouldn't touch it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do that, then
suspicious. Like,
Yeah, it's like, what do you know that I don't know? It's like, I don't know.
Because like racehorses were affected a big time by.
That is a thing, Dagger. Yeah, that's totally a thing. The printed meat thing. That's coming.
Printed meat. Yeah,
it's a thing.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out for the government. Like, if you want to, like, what is it called? Like, depopulate?
Human or depopulation.
Yeah, just do a new method. It's easy. Just teach everybody to be like me, because I don't have anyone. Look, I don't have a wife. I don't have a kid. I'm selfish. I just want to do nothing, not even socialize with anybody, keep to myself and die. If let's say if there's like 1,000 of me, you know how many people you would cut back? You won't have a new generation, because everybody will just be so chill that they're just going to be in their room until they die. Go with that approach. It's safer. Nobody has to be harmed.
That's what they're already doing.
They're already trying that.
Yeah, but those people are harming themselves because they're like depressing. They're like depressive all the time. They're like socially awkward.
That's part of their depopulation.
That's
but that's not good. But if you be like me, it's so awesome, man. I got all this movie. I got you guys. I got chill. I got
an awesome time. They could care less about that.
But I'm just saying. I'm a prime example.
Your goal is to also make you miserable too.
Why though, guy? Come on,
You
man.
profit off depression.
Control,
Profit,
man.
Profit
Control.
off the depression pills.
So they can
Hey,
keep feeding you new things to keep you engaged, and for
Yeah.
them to be making money.
For you to be
Control
depressed
you.
is a way for them to be innovative.
Bro, there's virtual reality adult content for that. That's all.
Yeah,
Dude,
I can't
chill out.
wait for the VR.
Chill out.
Like Minority Report.
Exactly.
You'll see thousands of King memes with a VR headset, be like, yes,
Especially
That's what
when
I'm
this
talking
the
about. That
life.
is a
when you-
better world. That is a
Especially
better
when you put on
world.
those, when you put on those suits where it has like sensors.
That's the best. I need those
Sensor
suits. I need those
yeah.
suits.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
haptic suits.
Man, I'll
or
just
whatever.
avatar myself up. Like, yeah, this is the real me.
Because I think we talked about that Bruce Willis. thing,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Surrogates.
Surrogates.
Yep.
Yes. So Fizzin said exactly. See, that's what I want, an enlightened version of depopulation. Why can't that be a thing, government? I want to throw that in there. Stop being a douche. Just be
because-
nice about it.
because
If
if
you're gonna
people
do it nicely. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking.
If you're gonna
It's
murder,
like,
half
if you want to
the
control us,
population of
do
the
it
country,
nicely. That's basically what he's
Just do
saying.
it nice. Just
I'd
don't
love
be a
to do it
jerk.
if you do it nicely.
Smile.
Does
Smile
anybody
while
have
you
anybody
spread
asked the
those
government that?
chemtrails.
I want somebody to legitly ask the government that. If I was
you-
more
you
motivated,
go-
I would go and ask the government that. But I'm not motivated at all.
You go ahead and ask Brandon that and see what happens.
Oh.
Why? He would just fall asleep or sniff my butt. But one of those two.
No, he's not into
You're
No,
not.
not he
folks
doesn't
like you,
sniff
you know.
butts,
Oh,
he
that's
sniffs
true. I'm
hair,
not.
bro.
I'm not at that certain age, guy.
You're not at that level. You're not at that level.
No,
Poor guy. I think.
no, whatever. No, poor guy. No. No, he deserves everything he gets and more.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be around much longer.
They're really trying to like take them out. Like you can see their side's kind of like shifting, shifting
if
narrative.
you like up to date with the news and stuff, and you already see a lot of problems with him
Because
Well,
that you
From
have to
day
deal with,
one-
especially all the classified documents that he's holding when he's not
That
supposed to
he's
be holding.
holding, yeah.
You know?
And the double
But here's the
standard
thing.
as well.
double standards and all that
Didn't-
stuff. He's being
From
exposed.
day one, we were saying he's just a prop for the next person to pot. Like,
Yeah,
we
they-
called it
yeah.
from day one that he wasn't going to be around.
The
And
lady.
and his VP is not doing anything. It's just there online to talk, and that's it.
And cackle like a moron.
It's kind of like she's like out there for clout, really. That's all I see it as.
Fizzin
Yeah,
and I was
exactly.
Fizzin and I
I
was
agree.
talking earlier before the show, and we were like, it's because the whole open gate thing, like, more. That's why there's more sightings of chupacabra. They're just going through the walls. It's true. There's an uptick of chupacabra sighting recently.
I'm telling you.
Hey, he's talking about border
Monkey
gate?
for vice
Yeah.
president 2024.
Who?
Fizzin' and Monkey 2024.
Oh, right.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
running,
Oh, yeah.
monkey.
You're right.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be the VP. Fizzin's going to be the president.
But what was our
president-
group though?
First
Didn't
president
we
that
say-
doesn't talk. First president that doesn't
First
talk.
president in history.
What was
that
our
doesn't
group?
talk.
I forgot our group. Remember?
Panty panties?
No, that's our music name.
group-
Our
music
our
group,
group.
yeah.
the political party.
Yeah, the political
our
party.
political part. Oh,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
what
What's
was
that?
it?
God dang it! I need to go back and watch that episode if they haven't already taken down. But it was awesome.
We all need to go register to that party. You know,
Damn, I forgot the name.
At
of
least
it.
there'll be 6 people voting. Wait, can you vote for yourself?
Yeah, you
No,
can
that's
vote for
rigged.
You
yourself.
can.
Yeah, you can.
That's
Your
6 people right
party,
there.
dude. You just write your party in.
Yeah.
Right, your
We got to go back and remember what it was. I can't remember. I remember the group name, but it was that same episode, I think.
Yeah, it's fun. I think we should
Something
wrap it
messed
up.
up.
It's getting kind of late, right? Oh wait, what
Oh, yeah.
is now?
We're 2.5 hours.
Open border.
Pecker party, the Pecker party. Yeah.
It's true, man. It's
Pecker
true.
Party, that's right. The Pecker Party.
The Pecker Party.
Pecker party. There you go.
Oh, yeah, of course. 'Cause look at the
Thank you, Chloe. You're the best.
Thank you, Chloe.
StreamYard
Chloe
bot.
is the
or-
best.
thing.
The Pecker.
Yeah, so we're gonna be
That's
the
right.
Pecker Party.
Sorry,
That's
Chloe.
our logo
Sorry,
up
Chloe.
there.
That's
That
at
freaking
least
duck.
7 people, and if Dagger also, that's 8 people that will vote for us. We got this.
Got this. Then we just got
How many votes you need for to win?
I don't know. More
we'll
than
find
what's
a
his
small
name got.
county somewhere.
A couple
Get
of
everybody to like vote for the Pecker Party people.
Dude, we really need to make that shirt and put
No,
up so
and
people can buy it.
We've got to make those granny panty videos so that we have our
We still
own
need-
music group.
That's our political
Well,
promotion right there.
Yeah.
We use the music production team.
Yeah. Because of what's his name?
Picker
Studios.
Party. Sorry.
All
Yeah.
right, there's 8. We're up to like
Eight.
8 votes.
We just need 2 more to make it a 10.
What was the somebody Richards? What
Oh,
production?
Dennis Richards.
Dennis Richards production.
Instead of what? Instead of teleprompt,
Instead
what?
of-
Instead of reading the
Teleprompt,
teleprompt.
I'll be typing that.
And people will have to read from it.
Man.
I legitimately want to make that shirt though. We're gonna make that shirt and we're gonna sell it.
What shirt? Pecker Party?
The Pekka
Pecker
Party
Party.
shirt. Yeah.
We'll have to
That'd be
call it
awesome.
like the Pekka, like so it's a little less like
Oh.
Shocking.
because Pecker Party people. I don't think a whole lot outside of us 8 are gonna be on board with that.
I don't know why people.
It
See,
sound- it
my problem.
sounds-
My
No, it
My
sounds
problem
too
with
toxic
politics is
masculinity.
my problem with politics is they're too
Oh
serious.
my god.
They're too serious, man. Gotta chill down a bit.
Yeah, man, chill, relax.
Yeah, nah. Thanks.
No,
Thanks.
Pekka Party.
It's getting late. I think we should close it.
Dagger
Yeah.
wants a full blown pecker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's almost midnight over here, man.
Yeah.
Nah,
Yeah,
it's fun though.
It's
like
later.
2
It's
o'clock
even
for
later in
DC.
DC.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, DC. I'm sorry for keeping you this
No,
late.
I'm always up late anyway. So
All right. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate everybody coming on. I appreciate all the people that's chatting with us. Chloe, Misty, Dagger, Celeste. If
Mendez,
Celeste was still.
Celeste.
Yep.
Still around.
All of them. Appreciate it.
this is my first ever live podcast, so I appreciate it.
Yeah, what do you think of
Thank you
this?
for joining in.
Yeah, I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah.
It's just like talking to you through the chat, but because I'm hearing you guys, but it's funner being in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
totally speak your mind, because that's what we're all about here, is to speak our mind.
This
Just
whole real
don't,
talk.
mention,
This whole
just
real
don't
talk.
mention medical dispensary.
Information. Misinformation.
Misinformation. We can't do that.
Yeah, that just shows that they're trying to control that narrative too.
You
It's
can put it
like,
on
oh my
15
god, you
second
can't even
delay.
talk about it.
Yeah. We'll have a dump button.
All right, well, good night, Chloe. Good night, Dagger. Good night, everyone that's still out there watching us. Appreciate it. If you watch this after the stream, after the live, thank you. Hit that
Don't
like.
forget, support Pecker Party 2024.
Yes.
Let's make it a thing.
Yes.
Get that hashtag going. Hashtag Pecker Party 2024.
What's our
Hashtag
slogan, though?
Visit
And
a Monkey.
watch us trend on Twitter.
Do it. Our slogan is full on Pecker.
We gotta create social media accounts.
Our,
and stuff, too,
our
man,
slogan
promotions.
is a full-blown Pecker. No, that will not fly. And here's the thing. This is why we have to cute it up a little bit, just because at some point we have to go for the woman vote. We have to. Get
Oh
the
crap!
female
I didn't even
voters
think of
on
that. I
side.
didn't think of that.
And if we run around with the Pecker Party, that's going to turn off a lot. It's going to turn off a lot. So we got to figure out a way to make it gender neutral.
I don't
Okay.
know. It might turn up a notch.
Turn it up a notch.
Spice it up.
Oh man.
All right. Have a good night, everybody. Thank
Good
you.
night,
Thank you.
everybody. Thank
Good
you.
night, guys.
Peace. Have a good
Peace.
weekend.